All right. This is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena. Open last Friday. You know how it works. Anybody can join. Everybody should join via Discord. We're going to be talking about many things, as always, but we're going to be touching upon the whole Devin Haney saga, which is not over yet. Also, we can talk about Dubois versus Joshua. I don't know if you guys saw that face-off interview. I forgot how you call it. Face-off? What was it? Behind the scenes? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know who was in the wrong there. Some people are saying it was AJ. Other people are saying it was Dubois by saying, let's go. And other people are saying that Dubois was scared. I don't know about that. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Handsome Mechanic, Super Sardonic, Black New Order, Joshua San Miguel, membership. How do you call it? Membership? Whatever. The Quacks, LL. All right, let's get this party started. I'm fucking multitasking here. Guys, the link is in the description. The link is in the chat. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. So, guys, what do you think about Devin Haney saying that De La Hoya hasn't paid him? I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are now complaining about De La Hoya not paying them. I don't know how true that can be. But you know what? What De La Hoya said about Devin Haney is true, in my opinion. The guy cannot sell. The guy's boring. Now, I know that's subjective, but just be fucking honest. Most people don't want to see a guy clinching. People are still talking about the debate that we had yesterday between Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden. The rematch. I don't think we can talk about that on this platform. But yeah, again, let's see what people are saying in the chat. Handsome Mechanic says Biden needs EPO. Eparakua says boxing, BDA boxing, I'm here, let the show begin. The Quack says no complaints here. All right. Guys, you want to talk boxing? I'm going to end the show. We're not talking about Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Although I would love to, but at this point, YouTube is, very strict on this type of things, this type of subjects. Let's see what else people are saying here. Well, anyways, let me talk about my thoughts on the Dubois versus Joshua. Was with the face-off. I don't think Dubois looked scared or intimidated. I think he looked pretty. His comment was a pretty. I mean, listen, if I'm Joshua and the guy says you want to go at it now, I would go like, yeah, or like, well, we'll see on the the day of the fight or something like that. But then Joshua acts all like, don't disrespect me, bro. Don't disrespect me. Don't you just like, what the fuck, man? How old is this guy? And why the fuck was he wearing, like, why wasn't he dressed properly for this fucking interview? I mean, Dubois was wearing a vest and a shirt, and the other guys, he looks like he just woke up or something. I don't know. I don't know if that tells you anything. The Pigeon says AJ is a clown. I'm sorry to think the Pigeon is right. AJ is a fucking clown. He's trying to act tough. The Quack says he's sensitive. I think he is. He's trying to act tough. Some call him AJ 2.0, and they say, I love it. I love AJ 2.0. It's AJA05 says, Butcher reaching to criticize. What do you mean I'm reaching? I mean, why is he saying don't disrespect me? How was that's disrespect? First of all, these guys are going to fight. They're not going to have a normal chit-chat. They're about to fucking hit each other. You need to sell the fight a little bit. Dubois saying, I'm ready. Let's do it now. And then all of a sudden, Josh is like, bro, no, Joe, no, don't, shut up. Relax, bro. Like, what the fuck do you expect Dubois to say? Like, the Quack says, why is AJ beyond criticism? That's the thing. I don't know. His fans, they're very protective of AJ at this point.
AJ fans are not as bad as Tank Davis fans, they're not as bad as Errol Spence fans, but they're in that territory because he attracts a lot of casuals since he's a mainstream star. And you have I remember when he went nuts after the Usyk rematch, and people were making excuses saying, yeah, but you know, you've never been in that position. You've never been in a position where you put everything in a rematch, you know, a second chance, and it didn't come to fruition. First of all, how do you know that? Number one. Number two, there's been plenty of fighters who have lost rematches and didn't have a meltdown the way AJ did. I like AJ. I like the fact that he will fight anybody. You got to respect him for that. And he's been on a good roll lately with the Wallin fight and with knocking out Ngannou. But I still haven't forgotten how he struggled against an ordinary Jermaine Franklin and against, what's his name? The Viking. He was getting his nose busted up. And the Viking ain't really all that good. So, I mean, I don't know. He says he wants to fight. He says he wants to fight Fury just to shut him up. And hey, man, I'm all for it. Let's make it happen.
Well, in the press conference, when they announced this event, this card at Wembley Stadium, Eddie Hearn, I don't know if you saw, he's like, I am extremely confident. I know for a fact that AJ is going to become a world champion again, and he's going to beat either Fury or Usyk. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this guy, I don't know if anybody believes him. But
well, I mean, he's got to say that he's a promoter. But you and I are on the same page.
The way he was saying it, though, this was beyond just promote. Like, this was something else. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, first of all, he's got to get past Dubois, which I expect him to do so because both guys are sort of similar. They're quite quick-fisted for being the size that they are. But of course, AJ is just on a different level. Gold medalist. Just at this point in his career, how old is he? 34. He's really coming to his own technique-wise. I don't expect him to get any better by a giant increment, but he's a solid guy. He knows how to set his shots properly. And against a guy like Dubois, who has comparable power to his, the difference between Dubois and Joshua is at this point, Joshua knows how to defend properly, whereas Dubois still doesn't. And Hrgović was teeing off on him. I think he landed about 20 right hands in the first round against Dubois.
Did he hurt Dubois?
Hrgović has more of a... Excuse me?
Sorry, but did he hurt Dubois at any point, Hrgović? Did he?
I forget. Not that I recall.
Right, but
the thing is, Hrgovic's power was overrated. And I was guilty of that myself because he was fighting. But I did say that, hey, listen, this guy might be looking good against cans, but maybe his power ain't all that good against the elite. But I expected him to. I was wrong. I expected him to beat Dubois. And when the first round had transpired, I was like, yep, it's going to go the way I expected it. And nope, it didn't. But Hrgović just deflated. But I don't expect the same thing from Joshua.
Now, is Joshua going to get old at some point? How does this work? I mean, he's a heavyweight, so... I don't think that's even something people are talking about, or something should we even be concerned about.
Put it to you this way. When the Dubois fight is going to be between two gunslingers, and it's going to come down to who's the quicker draw. Joshua, I believe, is a quicker draw by virtue of the fact that he has superior technique, superior defense. He's going to get his bullets across first. And Dubois might... You know, again, I'm not saying Dubois has no chance. To me, it's a bit of like a 70-30 type thing, just because of Dubois' power and the fact that this is the heavyweight division. But other than that, I expect Joshua to get the business done. And if he can get it done, it's a bad look for him.
Can Dubois hurt AJ? How likely is it that he can hurt him?
I just said he could.
Okay, but is it likely that, I mean, yeah, maybe the question is, okay, so you think there's a big possibility that he can hurt him?
I think there is, but it's not. If Joshua fights like a maniac, which he's not going to, he's going to be very careful in there.
I can see Dubois just breaking down mentally.
Exactly.
You know, getting tired, and then in combination with his mental state being like, you know, I'm not winning rounds, I'm getting hurt. Fuck that, I'm going to just take any or something.
He already broke against Usyk. And I mean, Usyk wasn't really snapping his head back too. I mean, he was landing flush shots, but you saw Fury. He got stunned badly, wobbling all over the place like as if he was just out of the pub. and yet he stood his ground because he was the bigger guy, as a bigger guy should, and he got through it. Dubois took a knee and said, "No mess."
Yeah, you're right. Well, that's an interesting fight. I believe it's on September 21st of September.
And by the way, Bucho, the undercard, at first glance, you go, "Oh, there's a lot of good names there," but then you look at the matchmaking, and it's not that compared to the other Saudi Arabian cards we've had. To me, the Crawford versus Madrimov 5 is still the gold standard so far that I'm looking forward to in terms of just stacked quality.
But Frank Warren said like 5 times that this is the best British boxing card of all time. I don't know.
I think that's the bullet that's lodging. I think it's the bullet that's lodging his brain. I think it was pressing on his frontal lobe, or whatever part of the brain that affects logical thinking.
Mm-hmm. Probably that makes a lot of sense. All right, so that's AJ. We're gonna be talking more about that obviously as we approach that fight. But
and by the way, this is an open line show, man. Let's post a link in the chat. Let's get the people coming in here. Start a discussion going.
Open the doors, let everybody in. All right. Oh wait, the link is not in the description.
Well. Let me read a couple of comments here from the chat. The Pigeon, shout out to the Pigeon, says Dubois needs the marching powder and then go crazy on AJ like Elzagi did. It wouldn't be such a bad idea maybe to jump on AJ. Maybe get him startled a little bit, get him to expand some of his own energy in there. But again, it's a bit of a long shot here for Dubois. Again, he just doesn't have the mentality comparable to Joshua's. He doesn't have the infrastructure, i.e., the ability to really cut the ring off. And because Joshua, say what you want about the guy, but after his 2 losses to Usyk, a lot of people underrated his boxing skills, and I can't blame him because, like I said, that the Helenius fight really, he didn't look all that great in there until the.
No, he was trying new things. Remember that fight he had Derek James, right, as a trainer.
That's true. Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck they were trying. He was very cautious, very. He wasn't letting his hands go. I didn't like that, AJ. No, because he could have taken him out earlier, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what the fuck the plan was there. But yeah, what were you saying?
Your leader says, "Yeah, I am your leader." Says it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. The Quack says, "If the odds get really effed up, I'd put some money on Dubois." Well, I mean that's the name of the game. You put the money on the underdog, and especially since it's a heavyweight division. I mean, it's not a bad bet.
It's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet at all. What do you think about BDA? Sorry, but what do you think about Dubois? Sorry, AJ. The way he reacted to Dubois saying, "Look, we can do it right now."
Oh, you're talking about in the face-off?
Yeah, in the face-off. Yeah.
Or sit-down,
whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he shows up in a tank top, white wife beater, and I don't know, but for some reason he gives off the impression that he doesn't wear deodorant. So and I think he does it on purpose. You know how some people break into, burglars statistically when they break into houses they defecate on the carpet or just like on the living room floor for everyone to see, because it's not just about taking somebody's belongings. It's a violation. It's almost like the ultimate rebellion. I'm taking your stuff and I'm violating your living room. I think he does sort of the same thing because again he's a street guy. Remember, he said it himself. It's out there. He never looked up to boxers. He looked up to criminals, drug dealers,
right?
Like Bill Haney. So maybe that's some like a power move that he does. Like, hey, I'm gonna wear a wife beater, no deodorant, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, who's gonna go up to him and say, "Hey, man, you fucking stink"? Nobody.
But like Handful Boxing Review says, deodorant is unhealthy for the skin. They say it causes cancer, but then again, I think everything causes cancer these days, right?
Well, that's why you're supposed to buy that deodorant that has no aluminum in it, and then you will. Yeah, but I mean, plenty of people have been using deodorant and they don't fucking get armpit cancer.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked, I think, up here. But so what the fuck did you think about AJ's reaction?
Let's get back to AJ stinking it up on purpose. Yes. No, I'm kidding. So you were saying, what did I think of him? Okay, so yeah, he on the one hand, Bucho, I'm not justifying it, but I'm just explaining. The mentality that these guys have, it's like a school yard mentality in a way. They're about to compete against each other. They're going to be trying to rip each other's heads off. So any little thing can set them off. But I do agree that, that's not an excuse, like I said, necessarily, because other fighters have been taunted much worse, and they keep their cool. This dude, as soon as Dubois said something dumb, like, hey, yeah, we can do it right now. AJ, in fact, has laughed off that type of stuff before. When Dylan White in the press conference for the fight, he said, because remember there was animosity between those two guys, and Dylan White said after the fight, guess what? It's not over yet. We're gonna keep doing it in the parking lot. And AJ left because it was so ridiculous. He should have done the same thing here.
That's what I said earlier. Exactly. I would have laughed it off. Remember Chavez against Camacho, and Chavez was just laughing the whole time.
Right.
Because to me, it shows more that you're confident. You don't give a fuck, right? You're just laughing it off. This is like when somebody reacts like AJ. To me, it looks like this guy is kind of has some doubts. He's trying to act off. It's too obvious. You know, it's like, well, how disrespected were you because of that comment? Seriously.
Then again, everyone's different, and it makes for good promotion. And
sure. I mean, the first who posted that video clip, it was His Excellency. He's the one that posted that clip immediately, I think. So.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He knows.
Yeah, I mean, how much you want to bet that he grew up, 17 years old, like $1 million in the bank in his account. He probably pit servants against one another. It's like, hey, listen, I'll give 20 grand, and he gave both of them a knife or something. It's like, hey, go, battle it out. The winner gets 20 grand.
It's like Django, like Django.
I've never seen Django, but I imagine something that came to
by the way, we have a super chat here from Monkey Mark 71S. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. He says,
shout out. It's Money Mark.
What did I say, Monkey? Okay, there's another guy named Monkey on Discord. Kung Fu Monkey or something. Oh no, it's Kung Fu Brandon. There's another monkey. There's a monkey guy, man. Seriously. Anyways.
Yeah.
Money Mark 71S says, shout out to BDA Boxing. The Haneys and Conte will be exposed. BDA, did you see that they're releasing all these videos now? What was it, part 1?
Yeah, part 1, and I'm pretty sure they're going to release part 2. Yeah, Bill. Oh, by the way, Bill Haney was on the Boxing Voice, and he's okay because there's conflicting numbers now about the pay-per-view. Initially, my prediction was that Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney was going to tank, because no matter how outrageous Garcia's antics would be, it was still a mismatch for a lot of people, and therefore it was going to flop in the pay-per-view. Then they came out. Rick Glacier, who usually has the correct numbers, said it did about 500,000 pay-per-view buys, which are good numbers. Then Steve Kim earlier this week said he had it on good authority that it did less than 400,000. And then Dan Rayfield apparently said that he did 50,000 pay-per-view buys. So, usually when the PBC used to come out with their Fugazi numbers, they were at around, they didn't exaggerate anything. They were like, oh, this is the fight, the 250,000 pay-per-view buy something. This, I've never seen a fluctuation from one person saying 500, the other person saying 400, and then the other person saying 50,000. So yeah. I think my initial prediction was correct. I think it did less than 400,000. I don't think it did 50,000. I'd be surprised. But then check this out, Butcher. They asked Bill Haney at the Boxing Voice. First of all, he's bragging about the pay-per-view numbers. Devin and Ryan did great numbers. Tank Davis did horrible numbers. He is not the face of boxing. This is the Devin Haney era. And then the guy from the Boxing Voice, he goes, did they tell you what the pay-per-view numbers are? Bill Haney got quiet real fast. He started looking around a little bit like shifty, and he goes, I haven't heard the numbers yet. So why are you saying that? Why are you bragging then that the numbers are good if you didn't get the numbers yet? Like, this dude he's so used to going to other platforms where they just let him.
Yeah. And just lying and not being questioned. I mean, that type of behavior, yeah. People who just lie like that. Yeah, we know with it. Anyways, but
Bucho, here's the reality. Nobody in the United States sells right now. There's no American star leading the forefront. Tank Davis doesn't sell well. Haney doesn't sell well. Crawford doesn't sell well either. He needs a good dance partner. That's just the reality. The United States right now, boxing, it ain't what it used to be.
Yeah, you need two to tango at this point. You don't have that type of. You don't have a Canelo. Another type of Canelo fighter. By the way, Jesus Pardo, thank you for your super chat. He says AJ is cosplaying as a mob boss, but in reality, all he did was steal hubcaps in London. Yeah, he was wearing that same shirt. And
no deodorant.
And no deodorant, of course. But yeah, what were we talking about? Fuck. Superstars.
No stars in the US. No deodorant for JJ and no stars so far in the United States. Although I am confident that there's always somebody else that comes along to revive boxing, but it's I don't know who it's going to be.
Jake Paul. Now. Protectorate General says Jake Paul. I forgot Jake Paul's fighting Mike Tyson. When is that shit? It's this month.
Is that still on?
In July, I should say.
Wait, is that still on?
It's not on? What happened? I don't know. I'm not following this shit. Let me check.
Carmine's not here? Carmine left. He's not here no more. Yeah, I think he went across the street or something. I don't know. Anyway, listen, Butcher, the point is this. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I don't know if it's happening. I thought Mike Tyson, he was all crippled up.
He's fighting Mike Perry now. Wait, what happened with that Tyson thing? What happened? He got injured. No, did he get an injury? Some shit Mike Tyson
was all crippled up in the airport, yeah. You know what I think it is, Butcher? I think it's the marijuana. I don't think smoking so much marijuana is good for the joints or whatever.
Probably. Or maybe it was something else that I can't say because we're on YouTube. By the way, Money Mark, I said money.
Right.
Money. He says, Ryan won fair and square. Fuck the Haneys. Hey, BDA, did you, I don't know I think you've been doing some research on this. Like, how, the amount of Osterin or whatever the fuck he took, can that really actually make a difference?
I mean, listen, I've been doing the research, but I'm not a.
Well, I thought you had to talk to Jimmy or something.
Yeah, we need Jimmy first of all to come out here and explain. But he's already broken it down. I believe I remember he said that it's. I mean, obviously that small amount is because it probably bears in mind that he took more prior to that. But then there's other experts that say that Austrian really isn't all that great. There's some confusion or discussion ongoing about whether it's actually effective, because the people that say that it is effective, they post snippets from studies that say that it rebuilds muscle. Then other people say that no, it actually increases estrogen or whatever, and it's not that good. I believe Jimmy also said the same thing, that if you're going again, this is partly speculative, but it's logical. Whatever these guys are taking, that's a PED. It's something that's still undetectable because it doesn't exist in WADAs and all those lists. That's the thing. That was the main point of contention with Victor Conte during his Balco trial, that he wasn't necessarily doing anything illegal because technically the PEDs that he was giving his athletes didn't exist. They weren't illegal because the organizations hadn't deemed it illegal yet because they didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I remember
you understand the conundrum?
Yeah, right. They hadn't synthesized it yet.
Right. So it bears to reason that when you have guys like Conte and Heredia, who have openly boasted about that they got off, it got them aroused to know that they were giving their guys a PED and that they were beating the other PEDs out there because everyone's on it. That's what Conte and Memo Heredia always, that's their compass. Like, well, everyone's doing it, so we're just going to be the best at cheating. So that's why I say that neither Conte nor Heredia should be anywhere near boxing. But like I keep saying, boxing is like the dirty basement of sports. That's the nice little cold or warm, actually dark and warm corner where all the spiders and the scorpions can go and hide. And the boxing establishment received Conte and Heredia with open arms. And why wouldn't they? Promoters don't care if their guy is juicing as long as he's winning. And if he's juicing, they just look the other way. They don't want to know. Plausible deniability.
All right, we had Jimmy here. Jimmy.
Hey,
Jimmy.
Hey, what's going on?
Jimmy, you got...
What's up?
The amount of Osterin, whatever, that Ryan took, is that Can that really make a difference in a fight?
Well, I mean, any anabolic steroid is going to give an advantage in recovery. Depends on how long he was off it. I mean, for the trace amounts they found in his system, psychologically sometimes, I mean, if you hit the wall, that's the thing, is you don't want to hit the wall. As long as he wasn't taking anabolic steroids, because those are the worst to come off of, because it shuts your nuts off, because your body won't produce its own hormones and testosterone if you're flooding it with, fake ones. So it just shuts your nuts off. So that period of when your nuts have to come back on is miserable. You just feel lethargic and gross, It's like fucking coming off of ecstasy for a month. It's horrible.
JO560 Faney came in overweight and popped for Austrian. You wouldn't be saying he won fair and square. Laughing my ass out.
I think he's laughing my ass off, not out. But he probably, yeah,
true,
he doesn't probably.
You are having a rough day today,
Yeah, I'm all fucked up today. I'm drinking coffee right now.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you. It was a stupid comment that he made. But listen, I'm done with the whole. Listen, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Haney, Tank Davis. They all got their own little hang-ups. They're really, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're a bad look for boxing, is what I'm saying. They're a bad look for boxing. These guys, they all have something. Shakur Stevenson thinks he's worth more than $3 million, even though he bores everyone's asses off. Tank Davis doesn't fight anybody, and now after years of dodging Lomachenko, now he wants to fight him. Devin Haney shitting his pants when he gets hit so hard that he literally shits his pants, and he gets the most fortune out of everybody, that he gets the decision reversed, and he's still acting like a jackass. And Ryan Garcia, I mean, come on, the less said about that dude, the better. I mean, this guy did everything wrong, and instead of saying, "Hey, I'm sorry," he doubles down and he tries to be the Jake Paul of boxing. You ever know Jake Paul? That's what I was gonna say. I did see that Jake Paul versus Mike Perry back and forth that they had, and Jake Paul he tries too hard to be funny. He's like, "Oh yeah, man," he's giving out all these homosexual innuendos. Like, oh yeah, I'm so confident that I don't care if I come out as gay to you. And that he was saying that he wanted to do sexual stuff with Mike Perry. And I'm thinking, look, that's so irreverent attitude. It works with the Zoomers. So I suppose that's why Ryan Garcia is doing it. But for the rest of the normal people out there like us, we just see right through it and they go, man, sit your fucking ass down, Ryan Garcia. And then on top of that, the thing that really sticks in my craw is he goes after Cambosa's wife. And then he goes... He apologizes. I'm just kidding, guys. Then he does it again to Caleb Plant's wife. He goes, I'm only human. And like I said, yeah, you're human. Humans come in all forms.
Jesus Christ.
Decent human beings.
Love Jesus.
There's decent human beings, and then there's jackasses. And that's what he is. He's a fucking jackass. I don't want to hear about this guy anymore.
Thank Jesus.
Yeah, he's willfully disrespectful. He's a fucking jerk off.
Hey, shout out to Virtuoso for giving. Who are you gonna gift 5 more memberships to today? I think I have a list if you want. I have a couple of recommendations.
What?
I'm checking it twice.
Was that Virtuoso?
I'm checking it twice.
I'm still. I don't know if he's kidding or not, Virtuoso, because Virtuoso has a deadpan voice where you don't know if he's kidding or if he's being serious.
I get that a lot. I sound very monotone. But at least I'm not like Jimmy, who gave his Joe Biden impression, when he started off. I noticed that.
Oh, that was Joe Biden. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with Jimmy, man?
I was trying to sound presidential.
I missed it, man. My bad.
It was really good.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
There's trillions of coughing. There's millions of trillionaires out there. Oh, what did he say? Thousands of trillionaires?
Thousands of trillionaires.
Thousands of trillionaires.
Question. You managed to answer every question. His wife.
Yeah, his wife. Yeah.
Anyways, where are we going to
She put a star on his forehead.
All right.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of Haney when he was still an official loss on his record, but he was still the champ. So they threw him a birthday party. Remember that? Like, you're still the champ. And he's sitting there. I think he looked like he was drugged, by the way, Devin Haney. I think I think his father, Bill Haney, he's got access to narcotics based off his past. I think they drugged this kid. They have him MK Ultra or something.
Well, Mark Breland, I heard Mark Breland was hanging around the fucking back of the room. Oh, okay. But no matter what, listen, he's getting it back in blood.
Oh, man. Hey, did you guys seen that interview with Errol Hawani? How he was just fumbling for the words to the questions. Like they would ask him like, what do you want to do? Like, we want to get it back in blood, and then he talks about the lawsuit. But then Ariel, he added on, when he asked him if he wants Ryan Garcia banned, right? He added on, for life, and it's like, yeah, for life.
What?
But you just said a while ago that he wanted to fight him again. He wanted a rematch.
Right. And then he said he was going to
give up with a clear answer.
Right.
He knows that's a bad fight for him.
And then he said he was going to retire, take some time off, and then he wants Barrios. He wants to fight Barrios. And then, so what the
I was happy. I was happy with the retirement. I thought that was a great idea. He should have done that. The writing's on the wall for him. Everybody knows he can't punch. He has no fucking chin. His style sucks. He should get the fuck out of boxing.
He definitely should not move up to 147. I mean,
I think he should, because he can get the shit knocked out of him.
Exactly. I want him to get knocked out again. But
I mean, when they asked him like what went wrong, he just kept, pivoting towards the Osterman shit. I'm like, dude, how does Osterman how does that I guess fat burner, what they call it? How is that linked to throwing a punch and letting him land on you?
Exactly.
Well, the other thing that people call him out on was the fact that apparently in that interview, he, like you said, he wants Garcia to be punished more severely because he's a cheater. But then he's hanging around with a cheater in Victor Conte, who got off real easy after the Balco scandal. So which one is it?
I gotta keep the same energy. It was also Alicia Baumgartner. She was in his camp, and she got popped.
Interesting.
And she never even gave an excuse, did she? She just didn't say nothing, right?
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Just play it off like you was contaminated. You had a contaminated test. Give out inspirational quotes. Throw out thirst traps. But Ryan didn't do none of that. He just kept talking shit.
All right, guys. Let me just read a super chat here from Moneymark71S. Again, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. He says, Ryan fought Tank, Haney, and wanted to fight Virgil Ortiz before he got suspended. He's great for boxing because he wants to make big fights that the fans want. Who cares about the outside noise? That's what he's saying. I think Ryan would fight anybody. That's for sure.
Yeah, but if the fights aren't on the level, then...
Yeah.
What was it? People really calling for Haney versus Tank Davis? Garcia versus Tank Davis? I thought that was way too premature.
Hey, Jimmy, though, speaking of Davis, we didn't get to talk about this the day before yesterday because the numbers still hadn't come out. Apparently, Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, surprise, horrible numbers. Less than 150,000, I think they said.
Yep. Shocker. So now he's had 7 pay-per-views. Okay? Ryan's clearly the outlier, right? Did 1.2 million with Ryan. The other 6, only one out of the 6 did over 200,000. That's not, listen, scrap the fucking face of boxing. That's for people with fucking head injuries. Okay, let's just ignore that fucking bullshit. That's not even a popular fighter, really. He's culturally popular within that fucking world star, fucking hip hop, braided hair, fucking gangster fucking syndrome. It is what it is. Because the black people I know are friends think he's a punk and an idiot and acts like a jerk off. You see what I'm saying? Look at the people who fanboys for somebody. Look at, if my own brother, right, was fucking drunk, broadsided a car full of a bunch of young girls out, all right, and he fucking ran. Like one of them looked in his face, covered in blood, screaming I'm pregnant, and she was outwardly pregnant, like 8 months, belly showing pregnant. begging for help, and you turn around and walk away, dude, I would fucking throw a beating on him. And I've never closed fist punched one of my brothers. We just don't, because we learn how to box as kids. When you close your fist, it's you're talking, cutting each other, knocking each other out. So we just didn't do that because we're brothers. We never closed our hands. But I would close my hand on him if he did that. I would have such, no, swear to God. I'd be so disrespected because my father's no longer on the fucking, you know what I mean? And as older brother, I know my father would have fucking throttled him. Like, what are you going to pick up a fucking drunk driving charge? So you left a fucking pregnant woman covered in blood? Like, that's a monster. That's like no empathy, scumbag levels that you can't even fucking fathom. So the fanboy for somebody like that, and I know people say what's out of the ring. Fucking right, what's out of the ring. Why would I fucking drop a plane ticket, buy a ticket, or do anything to financially benefit somebody who would leave my sister bloody, pregnant in the street and go probably run somewhere and laugh about it?
Jimmy's hands, Jimmy's fists are considered a weapon. So you better be careful,
that's
Jimmy.
number one. You gotta watch out. But Jimmy,
he's already mentioned that if it was on the street, he'd be sending people with tools over to their house. I mean, he is who he is. Make no mistake. If that kid wasn't a professional boxer, he'd be the face of D Block.
Do they register hands anymore? I don't even think they. Yeah, I'm about to say. I don't think they
that's
do that.
bullshit. What it is when you go in front of a judge. Yeah, well, it's no thing as registered. What happens when you go in front of the judge, and if the prosecutor gets wind and tells the judge he's a professional boxer, he's gonna throw the fucking book at you, because it is what it is. And the average Joe, most civilians don't know how to throw a punch right. You just got to go to fucking, Fight Mate or some. It's ridiculous.
Right. Darius is telling us to keep it boxing.
You do have to register your hands for a boxing license.
Darius is asking us to keep it boxing, dummies. All right.
We're talking about a boxer. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is boxing.
We're talking about a boxer.
It's as real as it gets, man.
So I like how some of these guys for some of them boxing, like it's two separate worlds, boxing and the outside world. They can't intermingle. They don't exist. Apparently, they don't want us to talk about the
fine line.
Listen,
boxers don't exist outside the ring.
Here's the reality. Tank Davis is a low life, which actually brings me to the fact of who supports that dude. And I look at some of the tweets, the media members. I look at the media members that kiss his ass. Because listen, here's the thing that I've started to realize about all this. A lot of these media personalities, and I'm talking about the guys who actually go there and interview fighters, which I can't imagine how monotonous that must be. Always asking the same question: what does it mean for you to be fighting in Madison Square Garden, the place where you saw? Oh God, really? You're gonna ask that? And a lot of these guys kiss his ass. They overlook the fact that he's a nasty personality and a nasty character overall, and they try to buddy up with him. And I'm gonna be naming some names in the near future, because these people are actually propagating and making things worse by, because I've seen people out there asking, media members, why does everybody hate Devin Haney? Why is he so hated? And I'm thinking, did you forget about the million things this guy has done, especially the cardinal sin nowadays, which is to be racist? If you're a racist, that is a cardinal sin. That is worse than killing and raping. And let's not forget that Devin Haney said, "I'll never lose to a white boy." So he alienated a big chunk
Could you stick to boxing?
The population, the biggest chunk of the American population. You don't expect that to have a little,
consequence.
Consequence. Deleterious effect to his brand long term, beyond just 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Of course, it's gonna. You alienated the biggest percentage of Americans out there. But so that's what gets me. When they play fool, they play fools. And like, why do people hate Devin Haney? But they don't ask the same question of Lomachenko, though, who gets legitimate hate from people despite never really having said anything controversial, never having hit a woman.
Because they gave everything to Lomachenko on a silver platter.
Right.
I've watched videos where they've complained about their money because of Lomachenko's going to Ukraine. Literally blaming Lomachenko. And we're talking about the writer. We're talking about White Goodman, right? We were talking about him the other day.
Who that is.
Well, yeah, I call him White Goodman. Remember Dodgeball, the movie? The fucking white. Yeah, I made this for just $8 million. You know, I built this from nothing. Oh, and in a large inheritance from my father. You know what I mean? That's fucking. That's why I call him White Goodman.
Right.
That fucking dude. Yeah, born in third base and thinks he hit a triple.
Oh.
Fucking up to him. Walking up. My biggest question of 2023 was something about the knockout of Davis knocking out. It was one of his knockouts. So it wasn't the year. It wasn't 2023. I'll find it. Somebody DM'd me it.
It's on that
like,
right, right now.
It made my stomach hurt. It was so fucking cringe. Like, you know, give me a headache. Fucking, what's his name? Yeah, I mean, I'll say his name. I don't give a fuck. He come at me.
Well, listen. The reason why I'm saving it for because I'm saving it for a special little powwow.
Never mind. I'm done.
In the chat, JA in the chat, JA says Loma gets everything on a silver platter. That's why he got robbed by Devin Haney. That's a good point.
Got everything on a silver platter?
He was being sarcastic. He was being facetious.
Okay, brother. No, sorry. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
man, Jimmy's today.
Jimmy's ready to go to war.
Dude, like, fuck, I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? It's like fucking, it's like, ever see that meme where the fucking kid's just yelling at the brick wall? It's like, fucking enough. Yeah. They belittle Lomachenko. They cut it up, make it personal. They have no problem. The war. He didn't fight in a war. I mean, whatever. But that's boxing? Please. But when you talk factual shit, that fucking, put it this way, would any motherfucker listen to this show right now, leave a family member in the same room with fucking Tank Davis? Or and the dudes he hangs around with?
No.
You see him and his friends, and you're going the other way because you don't want your shit taken.
Exactly. There you go.
Maybe if I had like a bomb strapped to one of them,
and he loves it. He loves it. He talks about it. The reason why he stutters, listen, let's be honest. The reason why he stutters and he almost sounds, when he talks like he's fighting for words, because when he doesn't have a microphone in his face and he's not uncomfortable, he seems a little shy. Like every other word's motherfucker. You know what I mean? You just know how he is. That's just who this kid is. You know what I mean? And tough, yeah, absolutely. Can take a shot and can throw a big punch. But he's dicked the sport around for 7 years, fighting hand-picked no-hopers. Well, fucking run from Loma. Now all of a sudden when Loma's going on 37? Now you're gonna fucking step up when you're in your fucking physical prime? Like, just what a punk.
Can I add to that?
Yes, absolutely, brother. Go.
You know what I don't like about that as well is like they're acting like 37 isn't really old for the lighter weights. Like usually guys like that are retired around like 35, 34 years old because they lose a piece of their speed and they're not, they're just not the same guy anymore. He's like
in the 80s and 90s, they would like retire by 32 that weight class.
Exactly.
33. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Hey, I want to talk about another problematic guy that we got in that division, and that is Shakur Stevenson. Now, we played that clip the before last episode. I don't know, Butch. I don't know if you can play it now, just to give people an idea, illustration of what it is that I'm talking about, because it really is. I mean, listen. Obviously, nobody wants to be hit in boxing in the sense that you get hit, you're losing points. But what gets a lot of these guys off is the thrill of combat, taking shots and giving shots. So in that sense, yeah, some people enjoy the contact and from the combat aspect of it. But there's guys out there like Shakur Stevenson who have a particular aversion to any type of contact. And, like I said, Tank Cabot was on Joe Rogan a couple of episodes ago, and he said something very poignant. He said, Royce Gracie wasn't a tough guy because he did jiu-jitsu. He was just a tough guy that happened to get into jiu-jitsu, and then he became dangerous. Shakur Stevenson is a guy, just by you look at how he comports himself outside the ring, travels with a gang of his friends, harassing a bunch of women. There's only one guy in the group. Then he assaults the woman. and he can't even fucking drop the woman. So that's the type of guy he is. He's not a fighter. He's a very good boxer. He's got a lot of physical talent, and he's got very good instincts when it comes to setting up shots and all that. But once he gets hit, all of that goes out the window, and he just starts leaping like a rabbit. So I don't know if Butcher, if you can, you let me know when you get that clip queued up.
Yeah, but I have to do a bunch of stuff here so you guys can see it on Discord. Let me just fix this. And why don't you read the super chat in the meantime, please?
Yes. Shout out to Money Mark. That one?
Yep.
He says, this fight will be Loma's swan song. Loma by unanimous decision, 100%. Well, I mean, listen, the last time he fought a southpaw that was about his size, because the last couple of southpaws that he fought, 2018, 2019, were taller than him. I'm talking about Pedraza and Luke Campbell, and they actually gave him a very tough outing. But those guys were firing throwaway shots to keep him occupied. Tank Davis doesn't do that. Now, granted, Tank Davis hits harder than both those guys, but it reminds me a little bit of the Gary Russell Jr. fight. That was the best Lomachenko. I dare say that Lomachenko is the best one I've ever seen. Maybe that, or when he
the Martinez fight was good.
Butchered too. Martinez, yeah. But
yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a repeat of the Gary Russell fight. Okay, so I don't know if Butcher's got the clip there.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind the Jamaican, when he fought the Jamaican, I thought he was so on point that night.
Oh, Walters. So, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that too.
And fucking
all right, so Butcher
Tank's 2 inches short of them. Fire with that tape.
Yeah, but Butcher's sharing the screen with you guys, so you should be able to see it. Now you got to play it right off the bat, Butcher, because it's in slow motion. So that's Shakur Stevenson is the one with the yellow guard, not Josh, protector.
The card,
yeah.
Protector.
It's in super slow motion, so.
What is that?
I tell you what, I've seen guys in their first sparring session ever react better than Shakur Stevenson did in this clip. Now, some people subsequently, I went on Twitter to check out the clip because that's where I got it from. And in the discussion, some people were saying, man, it's clear he got hit by an elbow. Y'all just want to hate. Y'all just find anything to hate. If you watch it, you can see the blue glove connecting on his freaking face. There was no elbow. If it would have been an elbow, the arm should have been, he should have lifted the elbow more. And he didn't. See, look at that.
No, he got hit.
That's a clear shot.
It's actually a good punch because he threw it really shallow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And look at his reaction. He looks confused, like, whoa, you're not supposed to hit me.
Not only that, he gives off this poker face, like he always gives off a smile just to hide the fact that he got hit.
Yeah, he didn't like that at all. Watch his body shot too. Watch how he reacts to it. Look at him. You don't really see him in the frame. He's like kind of tiptoeing. He's like, "Oh, I didn't like that." I don't know. That's bad body language.
Well, you develop a style because of who you are. You don't just like stop boxing. Oh, I'm going to do this. You fight a style which reflective of who you are as a fighter. Could you ever picture like fucking say Bud Crawford jumping backwards to try to avoid a punch like the way he does? No way. Because Bud wants you to know, I took your shit and I'm standing over you. So it's about beating a man. Just anybody can catch a guy clean before he lays leather on you. But the dude could be still saying, fuck, I didn't get a chance to put it on him. Like Bud wants you to know, I took your shit and I'm standing over you. That's their mindset.
He wants to get that.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Do you think fucking Shakur fights like that? He's got fucking flies in his pockets. He's ready to jump back he fought that kid, Dos Santos, like he was Mike Tyson. That kid, that was shocking. He was like defying gravity. How fast he was popping back from getting shot.
He had the movement.
Keep from taking a punch.
Jimmy, sorry to cut you off, but he had the movements of a basketball player. Like he was doing these like fadeaway jumpers, like trying to step back, and that just mitigates his offense. So now you're not in range to hit back.
Excellent description.
Yeah, and I can see the physicality between him and De Los Santos. De Los Santos had a bigger back, and he looked stronger than him, and that's probably why he was scared of trying to bang with him, because he knows he can hit harder, and he
tasted his power in the second round. De Los Santos caught him with something, and you can tell it was probably a 65-70% of his fucking power. And Shakur sent a shiver down his spine, and he said, "I will embarrass myself in front of hundreds of thousands of people before I take another one of them shots." Let that sink the fuck in. And Colin tried to defend that shit.
And it's not the first time. That's the thing, though. It's not the first time, and we're seeing him spar the same way he fights. I mean, how many more examples do people need to see that this guy he lacks that mentality? It's look, the talent and the skills will only be able to take him so far. Eventually, somebody actually told him that on an Instagram live. He said, "Look, if you would have fought Tank Davis the way you fought De Los Santos, they give the decision to Tank Davis." And Shakur Stevenson said, "Who made you the arbiter of boxing? I'm gonna keep doing what I do." I was like, "All right, well, there you go." And then he asked for more than $3 million per fight. I mean, I'm telling you, the goal from these spoiled young fighters, it's out of this world.
It's his style, man. Because his style, though.
Go, brother.
Oh, I'm just saying it's his style. Like, he fights like he's still in the amateurs. That's why he bails out. He's worried about like even having a punch land on him. Like the judges are really counting it like that. They're not counting every punch, but he's still in that mind frame. It's not good. He has no mid range.
Well, but it's what it is though. Seriously, his jab is fucking insane. His jab and speed and accuracy on his jab is crazy. And he, like BDA just said earlier, he knows when to throw it, right? So he's got that. So you take that. See, that's what Bud sees in him. This is why Bud was always so big on that kid, because he saw his jab, he saw his ability. But Bud was always thinking in his head, like, "Oh, this kid's he's gonna fight." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a reason he walked in the ring with them, but he didn't walk out of the fucking auditorium with them.
He was embarrassed.
I just think he's all.
He didn't wait around. You know what I mean?
I think they just messed him up a little bit because he's a converted southpaw. So all the power's in front. So everybody knows it too. There's not a lot in the rear hand with him. So nobody's really too concerned about getting hit with the straight left cross or anything. You know, he's going to jab and he's going to lean back. He wants to loop the right hook. He does it over and over again. The worst thing he does with his left hand is when he punches you in the dick.
Well, in his jab, I'm telling you, if you look at the guys he beats, it's with the jab. Because if you fight someone who's just an insane jabber like that, it was this kid Joey Elliott. He used to have my number because this kid could just jab like a motherfucker. No matter what kind of offense you try, pop, bang, there's that fucking shot right in your mush. You're like, damn, and it fucks you up. You just makes you second guess yourself. You try to come different angles, but then you're taking yourself out of your fight. And he's got that. He's got great timing and a great jab. And because of all the other shit, we get angry with them. But elite. That jab is fucking sick. And the speed it comes at people, we've seen it. I mean, I know he punched that kid, Calcio, in the fucking, butcher's name, whatever. He punched that kid in the nuts probably 30 times. You know what I mean? So I saw that too. But I'm not going to take away what he does good. And what he does good is jab and crazy reflexes and fast twitch fibers. But it also always has to do with he always boiled himself down and fighting smaller guys. I've said for 2 years now, fucking the bigger he gets, the less dominant he'll be because he relies on that slight angle downward jab. Gets a little more stink on it and it fucking helps with the speed. But
he likes the right. I'm telling you, Jimmy, he likes the right hook off that too. That's like if you think about why he's throwing that jab,
that's power. You're right.
He's lining up. Yeah, exactly.
No, you're right. His money punch is definitely his late right hook, and money punch. I mean, like the punch he hits the hardest. But Jimmy's right. What's up, Jimmy? What's going on? Something that he has going on for him is his jab. Just like Jimmy said, his speed can just paralyze you, just like freeze you for a little bit. But something that I noticed from Shakur, because I've been watching some of his fights lately, is that like around like round 5 or 6, he's getting tired of that jab because he throws a lot of arm jabs. You know, he tries to be like as fast as possible. He's trying to like intimidate his opponent with his jab, which is a great strategy. You know, like
just the speed. I know what you're talking about. It's like I could touch you. I know what you're talking about. He's not not a lot on it, but he's just kind of giving the guy notice like I could touch you.
But the thing that gets frustrated, like, you know, for us fans and boxing enthusiasts is we understand the strategy. It's just the fact that you go around just trying to like tag your opponent, like you're stealing the amateurs, like you mentioned before, or like some other guy mentioned before. He's still based his styles on the base point style, which is very boring, to be honest. And it relies a lot on, you know, you hitting the guy and jumping around, and, you know, I hit you with 3 jabs and you hit me with 1, you know, that type of shit. Like, it's like playing tag, and it's kind of boring.
I gotta tell you what's gonna happen with Shakur Stevenson. He's gonna be a little bit like Rigondeaux in that his footwork is his best asset, because if he really wants to get on that jackrabbit approach, it's gonna be very hard to tag him. But at the same time, it's gonna be very hard for him to get in the offense going. So just like with Rigondeaux, where he could use his footwork to really sting the joint out, he's gonna do that. Then there's gonna be other performances where the guy really has nothing to offer, like the Japanese guy that he fought a couple of fights ago. He's going to look good there, and that's it. Eventually, he's going to run into somebody that's going to be able to.
Let me tell you something too, BDA, real quick, because I'm like around his area. I'm kind of impressed that he actually was sparring somebody that he's not from his like circle on that video. As you can tell, like he was dominated like in that little sequence, like the that you show in the video. I've been in the same gym with him at the same time, and I can tell you, me on the group we were training for, I think he was training for like the Pitufo Diaz fight, I think it was. We got kicked out because one of the guys, you know, hit him with a body shot, you know, that were talking shit about. No, yeah. No, so I've been even saying like the same story on the streams.
I can't believe. No, I can't believe. Listen, I know Shakur Stevenson is probably like weak-minded a little bit, but I refuse to believe that. Wait. So what did he claim? Did he claim it was a low blow, or what was it? Why did he just kick him out?
He couldn't claim nothing. Like, no, he got hit with a clean body shot. It's just the dude. I mean, to be fair, he was young at the time. He was like 19 years old. You know, he was fairly young, and he was playing like a grown-ass man. To be fair, like he's got hit clean, and I think he was like
Junior too. Don't mean to cut you off, but I'll vouch for Junior. He's a Jersey boy, and I had a talk with him about the gyms he's training, and he's legit. So he's not on there just making up fucking poop. Sorry, brother. Keep going.
No, yeah, because the guys from the WBG, we went to that for that training camp, like on a couple of guys, and if you see like the stories when he always say like, "Oh, this guy was in my camp," like he was in Paris camp. You don't see footage from that camp, right? Like he boxing Power, right? Because what I heard, he got hurt on that camp too, so he has to like go back. Like he didn't even get to the plane to Puerto Rico. Like,
Jeez, Luis.
No, yeah, like the dude. I don't want to say he's a bad boxer. He's a good boxer, natural talent. You know, God bless him. I don't have nothing against him. Like, before, you know, people in the comments are saying I'm a hater, you know, or whatever the case may be. But the facts are the facts, man. I think this is the division he's gonna be found out. You know, I wish he doesn't. I wish, you know, he get like the chance to fight like, you know, some bigger names like Tank, which in my opinion he's getting knocked out. He's susceptible for looping shots. He never puts his hands up, like never. He gets tired after like the 6th round, just like Tank. But he just can take a punch.
Yeah, I mean, Tank Davis can't really cut the ring off all that well. I mean, he barely got it done against Frank Martin. Yeah, he barely got it done against Frank Martin. However, if he catches Shakur Stevenson with a body shot, I'd be very curious to see how Shakur Stevenson reacts to it, because just look at what happened in that sparring clip. Look at what happened in the Nakatila fight, too, where he took a right hand. And he made the same face when he took that right hand. I believe it was in the 5th or 7th round. He goes... You know, that face, like, you know, like when you put icy in, you know, that like a bomb in your balls accidentally.
When you hit at the tip, like when you hit at the tip of your knee, like.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's very exciting.
Say, BDA, I think Recognize calls that the ugly face.
Yeah.
I recognize you here, brother. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? When you see a guy, when you hit a guy so hard to the body, and they make that like they got to go to the bathroom face.
I mean, the thing about Shakur, also the thing about Shakur Stevenson, I think he also has like the thing. He always like the biggest guy in the ring, so he has like the liberty to like walk you down, as we saw in the fight with Consenso. He was walking down Consenso for a couple of rounds, but then he tasted like a couple of right hands. All that tough guy overlooking at his face like wore off, and he started like hugging and doing low blows. He did a lot of. He reminds me a lot of Bernard Hawkins. He used to like hold his opponent's head and like hit you like in the hip, but he was making sure that he was doing that while his opponent was facing the referee, or like his opponent's back was facing the referee. I mean,
yeah, so rules.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Right, exactly. You shield his him from the side of it. You're right. That's smart though.
But the other thing about
Shakur Stevenson,
at least if you're open about how you're gonna fight, at least give us that. Instead, he goes in there in the build-up to the De Los Santos fight. He goes, "I'm a fuck you up," and then his boys were harassing De Los Santos' team outside the ring. My boy gonna fuck you up, and then he delivers one of the worst performances ever. It's like, man, it just makes it even worse.
It's just like Floyd, BDA. It's all that shit. Remember, he's like, "I'm gonna fuck your shit up. I'm gonna beat your ass," and you see the fight, and you're just like, "Oh my god,
I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run
exactly." I'm gonna throw 15 punches this round.
I'm gonna break your ankles, bro. Watch.
Can I say something else too about that? This just goes to the point, because some people already know people are gonna say, yeah, but it's hit and not get hit. It's a sweet science. Here's the problem with those people. They don't understand that this is a business. As we were talking about in the last episode, when you're talking about the economic situation of boxing, HBO, for example, it used to be the home of boxing, because yeah, they would get guys like Roy Jones, who at that between 1999 and 2002, he was delivering boring performances. Same thing with Pernell Whitaker. Boring in the sense that it was mundane. It was the same thing. They dominated round after round, but they didn't beat their opponents up, so it was mundane. But they did have Lennox Lewis, they had De La Hoya, they had Gatti. That's what these guys nowadays, they don't realize. They all want to go after the next Floyd Mayweather, and they're starting to realize finally, guys like Bob Arum and maybe even Eddie Hearn, that a guy like Shakur Stevenson doesn't really bring you anything. Shakur Stevenson can fight the way he wants to fight, but then look at what happens to him. Now he's complaining about how nobody wants to buy his contract. He wants more than $3 million per fight. You don't get.
And you know what's ironic, BDA? You know what's ironic, BDA? That the main reason he's on on Top Rank is because of Jay Prince. Like that's because people owe Jay Prince some favors, but. Because he knows like they're the right people, like not only like
the criminal world. It looks like.
Yeah. No, well, but like the thing is, like
Floyd Mayweather wasn't shit when he first started. This is what they don't understand. When Floyd Mayweather first came in '96, there was guys like De La Hoya, Sugar Shane Mosley, Felix Trinidad, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson. He was in the back.
Oh, yeah, nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Nobody cared about him.
Right, bro.
Yeah, and he understood that. And he started little by little making a name for himself. But he was in the back seat. He was the grab my bag and make sure that nobody steals anything from it. That was who he was.
He was the elevator back then, right?
Yeah.
And he knew he built up his name by fucking fighting well, knocking people out too. He wasn't putting on boring fights in his early days. You know what I mean? Exactly, he tried to get everybody out of there because he knew if I go out there, even if I can make these guys miss and I do that shit, HBO's not going to have me back. You knew the importance of stopping people.
You know the thing is, like Jimmy.
I agree.
The only thing, the comparison these kids, they always want to try to be compared to Floyd, but the thing is, they always misses. Like Floyd was a generational talent when it comes to athleticism. He was a freakish athlete when it comes to like the length on his arms. Like he was like 72 reach each arms. Lightweight. Yeah, 5'8". He was
I don't
He's
believe
a
in the
guy
whole
who-
generational talent.
You know where he had the
Yeah.
advantage of? He had the advantage of being born into a boxing family. His dad was a good
Absolutely.
boxer. His uncle was a 2-time champ. Even the other brother boxed professionally a little bit. Like he was around it for a long time. He started at the very beginning, where like when you could first teach a kid how to punch, he started, and that's there. You can't replace that. I would say that was the biggest thing he had in his favor.
I mean that and like the way he was brought up though, like the way when you understand like how like his dad was very rough on Mayweather when he was growing up. Like he used to like tape his gloves on like around him, so he wouldn't like quit like a little kid like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore, like, so like he just tape his gloves around his head or glue him. Like he used to be rough on Mayweather, man. Like he used to like, if you drop your hands, like I'm gonna hit you, even though like he kept on dropping his hand in the pros. He was
but he had two things though. He had two things. He had a family name and a story, because the Olympics story helped launch him in, because it was in America, it was in Atlanta, so Americans saw the fact that he should have won that fight. I was in the arena that night, and he should have won. But he showboated a little bit, and this cost him that fight. But everyone knew he should have won. So the combination of being a family name and his dad still being a professional fighter, his dad had just fought Carlos Jesus before he made the Olympic team. His uncle. His uncle was still active. And it
Roger.
Cost Jesus. It had a relevant family name, active in boxing. He was Olympics.
I think
You said he tried to knock everybody out. His dad was from the first when his dad took over
Chief,
trainer
we can barely
because he
hear
was
you.
knocking everybody out.
Yeah, Chief, we can. We have a hard time hearing you.
All right, sorry. I'll drop.
Another thing I was I while he was on that subject, another thing I think Floyd did, if you really look at his style, he has a piece of his dad and Roger in him. He has his dad was much better at defense, and Roger was much better at offense, and Floyd can do both.
no. Also, and you're right. Also, when he was coached by his uncle Roger, he was way more aggressive.
Right.
If you remember, he switched coaches back to his dad, because I think the last fight he has with Roger was the fight he had with Cotto, and he even said like, nah, like I was going like too aggressive on Cotto, he started getting older, and he took a lot of damage in that fight, man. If you remember, man,
I was too entertaining with my uncle, so I said, "Fuck that, let me go."
Oh shit! No way! No, yeah, like you recognize? You remember what he said after the fight? He was like, "Man, this motherfucker hit you like in the ribs, in the ear, in the forehead, in the nose. This motherfucker want to make you retire." Like, and Mayweather, in fact, retired for like 2 years, right? Like after that
I
fight.
think that's why he freaked out so bad when Manny beat up Cotto. I think that's what sent him into orbit. You guys remember that? He's like, nobody does that to Cotto, and he just like had a fucking conniption about it.
Right.
But styles make fights, man. Some people, like Cotto's he has good movement, but he's kind of a plotter a little bit. He wants to sit down, deliver his power a little bit. And
also, Cotto is a guy that you can make him quit. You can make him doubt himself a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Baker made him do it, but now this was like death by 1,000 paper cuts kind of shit. And Pacquiao just took him, like ran him through the rose bush, for a lack of a better term. You know what I mean? He just beat his ass.
Oh no, man! Believe me, take it from me. Like Pacquiao's power is legit. Like
that was crazy.
No, as part of the dude. The dude is no joke.
Good for you. That's a good experience to have, at least, man. That's awesome.
It is, but I wish I would have taken like pictures like back then. The thing is, like at the time, it was not like smartphones and shit. It was just like if you didn't have a Kodak camera, you were burned pretty much.
Well,
y'all hear me better this time?
A little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking to my car speaker. No, I just want to make sure you guys can hear better. The Cotto Mayweather thing. Mayweather actually was trained by his dad as an amateur, trained by Roger until medium level, just before his first title fight by Roger. Trained by his dad until the Gorio Vargas fight. Trained by his uncle until the So the Cotto fight, and that's when he's going back and forth. Thank you. So I'm leaving a rally right now, so I'm stuck in traffic.
Sounds like you're ready to count the fucking countdown for the Apollo 6.
Yo, so guys,
Let's just say after.
Quick question, guys, real quick. Just
Small
to let
step
you know,
for a man.
change. Just to change the subject, just real quick. You know, it doesn't have to be like the subject like for the rest of the night. Just real quick. So it will be 2 fights tonight, right? It will be Estrada versus Van Rodriguez, and then it will be Teofimo Lopez versus the Cloud Fighter, the Claggett. So
yeah,
which fight you guys were gonna watch? Like I'm gonna be honest, man. I love Teofimo. He's my dude. You know, I know him kind of personally. Like I met him a couple of times, but Bammy is my guy, man. You know, I'm actually more excited about like the Strata fight. You know.
Yeah, no, I think that's the fight everybody's the most excited about.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Bam.
And you know what's crazy, BDA? Like that's like actually like a good crazy fight, and like there's not a lot of people that knows about it. Like everybody thinks like the only thing that's going on will be like I mean, also it's gonna be something crazy at the UFC,
well, we
right?
don't know about it. I mean,
insulted.
everybody here does.
I feel insulted.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think
like
also
that
will be
either.
like I'm not much of an MMA guy. Like I don't know like much for real.
Tomorrow's going to be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a good card tonight. I watch like cards and like fights when like my friends tells me, you know, because I also like I know a lot of people within that world. And you know when it's like a good card, because the thing is I've been telling them like, yo, like don't give me like this stupid ass matchup with like two jiu-jitsu guys. Like it's like gay porn on the screen. Like it's just something I don't want to watch. Like
fatality.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that, but I kind of agree with you.
But yeah, I wanna. I'm actually intrigued about the Ben Rodriguez fight. I actually give Estrada a good chance.
I don't actually, but I hope so. I mean, I don't know. How old is Estrada at this point, though? 30. We were talking
33,
about
34.
Yeah, and we're like
kind of old for a smaller dude.
Exactly. Very true. Who knows?
Uh,
I mean, yeah. On those lower weights, they age kind of bad because
they just rely on speed.
I think he lost to
like really quickly.
I think he lost to Chocolatito in that fight. Like so.
I thought so
absolutely.
Too. What do you?
Just imagine this, BDA. You're a grown adult and you weigh 112 pounds.
That's Bucho.
Somebody tell him.
Oh, my bad. Imagine that, Bucho. Like you are a grown adult and you weigh 118 pounds. So you only can get that weight with that so long, you know. Like I don't care how small you are.
But also they're like 5'5" or something, 5'4".
Man, Ben Rodriguez is like 5'3" or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Prince Nassim Hamed height. But yeah, I mean,
now
boxing
he walks around like 206 pounds.
What's that?
Bro, he looks like the he looks like that boy from Disney. I don't know if you guys know from like the Lion King.
Yeah, with the 40 nose and shit.
No, he looks like that clown from Spawn, that old movie from 97 or 96. But no, yeah, that's the fight I think boxing fans are excited about, like the Rodriguez Estrada.
And listen, I'm not against what Teofimo Lopez is doing. At least he's trying to keep himself busy. You know, if he's not landing like whatever other fight.
Yeah.
Even though I wanted to see him, I'd rather to see him. Even though to me he would have took like a kind of sort of quality name in Barboza, and it wouldn't be the same as a tune-up because I think he knocks him out. Like I think he knocks out Barboza easy. I don't know why he don't want to get that fight.
Right.
Like it wouldn't be like a good fight. I don't know. Instead of this Claggett fight.
Well, listen, Teofimo needs a knockout, in my opinion. Make a statement, and then call somebody out. He needs to do that.
You mean like highlight opportunities?
Absolutely, he needs that, and then call somebody out. Because
and he's he's doing the Bush League thing, fucking talking Crawford's name recently again. It's like, dude,
He's too small.
Just because, on top, right. So you wait until the dude goes up to 154, right? Has a fight in the fucking books, and now you're gonna fucking Crawford because you picked an opponent that is so unknown, is such nobody's like, huh, who, why, and now fucking you get a glory fucking chase off of his name. That would fucked up, dude.
Just entertain it for a second. That would be a butchering. I think Teofimo's around like what, a 67, 68 inch reach. Crawford's a 74. And he has a little bit of height on him. That would not be good. And Crawford knows how to keep range. He'd beat the fuck out of him. That would not be fun to watch.
Crawford bash him. Absolutely bash him.
Crawford has timing, and timing beats speed.
And Teo doesn't cut the ring off. Yep. He's going to have to get in on this guy. He doesn't fight good on the front foot. That's insane, in my opinion. As what Jimmy said, he's just saying that like kind of to get like a little bit of media buzz and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
It gets an article written about him. Oh, fucking Teofimo's talking about Crawford, and that gets people talking about his name on, gets his name floating in the algorithm. It's up on your feed. Like, listen, dude, fuck out of here.
What do you guys want to see next for Teofimo Lopez?
Hey. I want to see if he can fucking learn how to cut a ring off, man. You call yourself a pound fighter.
Not his style.
You chase people. But, dude, like listen, I understand. Of course, style, and I'm not saying you don't. But style, part of boxing is fucking cutting a ring off. Like, that's shit you should learn in the amateurs. Like, he's terrible at it. Like, because what happens when he gets across? Because not every fight is going to come forward. I mean, he's learning. Sandra Martin, and look what happens when he comes across people like that.
I agree completely. I agree. By the way, we have a comment here from Black New World Order. He says, Teo beat y'all god Lomachenko. Ha, 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 ha. There you go. He did beat Lomachenko. What's that?
I don't get it. But I mean, they act like that guy didn't like take on anybody. Older man taking on the younger kids when they want, where they feel like, and he fights them like in their backyard. It's crazy. And the guy had a fucking shoulder injury that was actually substantiated. So I don't get it. But any means necessary. That's the actual boxing fans that we deal with today. Any means necessary. My guy got the win. Let me run away real quick and celebrate it. That's what we're dealing with.
And wanted nothing to do with the rematch at all.
That's interesting.
Nothing.
You know what's funny, Jimmy? The guys who denies the rematch to Lomachenko, there's something like really got a struggle figure. Something bad happens to them. Like, for example, like Teofimo Lopez avoided the rematch. He got beat by not just about a B- level fighter in
Cambosos.
Devin Haney refused the rematch as well, and he got
beat up by Ryan.
But not only beat up by Ryan. Not only beat up by Ryan, man. He got humiliated, destroyed, but also like
you might be right. Maybe that's a weird kind of karma. Like it's actually working for once. Maybe maybe it's working for once. Karma has not existed in boxing for the past 15 years, in my opinion.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Didn't Salido retire after he beat Loma? Maybe he knew what was up.
Yeah, there you are.
Salido turned down a career high payday. Bob Arum offered him double that he's ever made in his career. And Salido
he missed weight by 4 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds.
He punched him in the nuts so many times. The referee later had to apologize for his performance. He should have been fucking thrown out. Listen, that was insane what happened to Lomachenko that night. I started out not liking the kid because I thought it was arrogant going right for belts right away, just because I don't like change, and that was weird to me. So I wasn't right in his, but I couldn't deny his ability. I'm like, wow.
And you know why it's a curse, Jimmy? And you know what's a curse, Jimmy? Because like immediately something happened that to their opponents like erased that victory. You know what I mean? Like they look so horrible. Like next time, that it doesn't really matter. Like that win, they get like completely destroyed, or like they get a loss that they're not supposed to get, like Teofimo. And if you see Teofimo, he's still struggling with his personality after,
Right.
Dude, yeah, listen, Junior, that dude punched his fucking ticket into the Hall of Fame by his 12th fight.
That's crazy.
In his first 11 fights, he fought 9 current or ex-world champions. In his first 12 professional boxers, he became the fastest fighter to become a 3-division champion in history of the sport. Yeah. So, like, you can sit there and go, fucking Teofimo squeezed him fucking round off. Like, really? That's your get? That's your fucking comeback? Or not?
I mean, if you go back...
Then ran from the rematch, wanted nothing to do with it?
I mean, if you go back to the fight, he was just active, like, the first 6 rounds. That's why he won, like, the first 6, or, like, the first 5. Because he was active, but he wasn't really landing nothing other than, like, your occasional, like, counter uppercut, or, like, you straight to the body. He wasn't really landing much on Lomachenko.
And if you see the night, 2 days after, so that was a scheduled. That you can't just make a scheduled. To have shoulder surgery, you can't just go there and call up walking at the fucking clinic and go, "Hey, can I get surgery tomorrow?"
After the fight, you remember how they look after the fight? Like Lomachenko obviously was had some marks on his face. I think he had like on his right side. But Teofimo Lopez looked like a Filipino citizen, man. Like he
lumped him up in those last few rounds. It shocked the fuck out of Teo.
Yeah, like Teofimo got desperate.
He didn't want a rematch.
You know what's kind of funny?
Teofimo got so desperate in one time because like Lomachenko timed his uppercut so well. Like he did it like he used to jab and like throw. I think he used to throw like his shoulder or something or himself. So his mother like the uppercut. So he used to like just get close and like just like burst and be like sharp hooks to the face and.
Anybody go back and watch that fight and tell me with a straight face if Lomachenko would have fought that way from round 1, what that fight would have been like? Mm-hmm. It would have been fucking Loma 8-4. Right. You know what I mean?
Not even that
easily.
Not even that, Jimmy. Avoid the little positive because of the headbutt, because I think Teofimo got a cut on his eyebrow. That's when he got desperate and started like hugging Lomachenko out of desperation.
I think the body shots are what really fucked over Teo in the ass in that fight. I think that's why
he fucked him over. You remember how his face looks? He always had like that blank look when he gets hit. Mm-hmm. Like I remember that's why like I was saying like, bro, he takes a punch, he can take it, but if he face somebody who puts the pressure on him, like with a little bit more, like somebody like let's say like not, like a Spinoza, let's say like a 140 Spinoza, or like somebody like Fondora, like not like as big, but I'm saying like a little bigger than him. Like he will take he will take a lot of damage, man.
Yeah, the one thing about Loma's opponents is that they're overwhelmed by his pace. He is a human dynamo. And so when he gets on the inside, they know that they don't have much of leverage because they have the longer arms. And so it's harder for them to recover their hands to defend. So when you get guys like a counterpuncher, like a Teofimo, that is overwhelmed, is getting blitzed on the inside, they end up hugging, and even with Haney, he's not a good inside fighter. That's a plus for Loma. He can do work on the inside. So what they do is resort to clinching, and try to, smother his work. But yeah, man, that's pretty much why they have to be like on their toes. Because that's a guy that really just hacks into your defense and really debilitates you.
And he exhausts fighters, dude. They become tired and they become confused. I mean, Haney went to his father and said, man, he was asking questions. Yeah, dude, it's crazy because what happens, he changes. Go back and watch his fights. It's always something little. And when you're fighting a fighter and you've been fighting long enough, like, say, Bud takes usually 2 rounds to get your rhythm down. And once he has your rhythm and he sees what you got, and he's going to time it. And Loma is almost impossible because he's constantly changing up, whether it's hand height, he's moving his hand, he's stepping to the right, he's stepping to the left. He's doing shit it makes you mentally exhausted. You're trying to focus, trying to get his timing that you can't get. In the meantime, he's hitting you from angles, and then you end up swinging at ghosts. and fucking, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Or you're not swinging. Like that's what Haney was
you're
doing.
not swinging at all.
Yeah, you're not swinging at all. You're just like, when is this guy going to fucking stop? Because I think that's why Haney was really reluctant for a little bit. He's like, if I start taking my hands away from my face, this guy's going to really fucking hit me. And you saw it. And I didn't mean that move in for him to move right. I'm actually meant to say when Haney was in court, he's like, I can't move left. And it was because Loma would like dig to the body with him, and then Haney would try to retreat because he's right-handed, right? So he'd try to retreat to his left, and Loma would just throw this like really quick right hook, and he'd run him right into it, and it would stop him dead in his tracks. And that's when Haney got back to the corner. He's all fucked up, and he's like, I can't move left anymore. He's like literally trying to tell his dad, he's like, I can't do that. He's like, he's running me into shit.
He was like, he knows I'm going left. He knows I'm going left.
Yeah, I mean, all this is
Can you imagine being fucked up like that, trying to explain that to your coach in the corner? It's like, get somebody else in here right now. I need somebody to like literally like tell me to do what I'm doing. You don't have to,
man, dude. You're calling human resources at that point.
I don't know,
exactly.
but like he's telling him, he's like, I want you to move left. It's like, motherfucker, have you been watching? He's cutting me off from there. He's actually running me into that side. Because Loma's right-handed too. And he's fighting in southpaw. So a lot of those punches were designed for Haney to run into the fucking power. And his dad's just sitting there, just like, move left. He's like, I'll bet you Haney's like, you motherfucker. He's like, I have 1 minute to get my shit together right now. I have to explain to you why this ain't working.
You come and do it. And listen, it's people like that could have said that, like, your God, Loma. You know what? Then that's what makes us defend him. It's because, like I said, I didn't start out being a fan of him. He made me that way because he fought everybody. He didn't duck anybody, and he did it like he always signed contracts months before his opponent. Never, like Bob Arum said, a dream to work with. Tom Romani, boom. He's never hackles. He just makes the fight. So my thing is,
and then he cries when he loses. He makes excuses when he loses.
Dude, I'm not done. So makes excuses. What, like getting shoulder surgery that he got 2 days later, dude? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
okay, he's Hall of Fame.
Or hit low blows.
At least you don't hear Loma say that he wants to go back down and wait because he's not ready for the
title shots he doesn't deserve.
Has he ever earned the title?
Come on to the fucking
Has he ever earned
Why are you interrupting?
Hey, Mirage.
Yo, Jimmy, you know that's Mirage style. Don't let him.
Good Lord.
Good Lord. That's my point being.
Let me ask Mirage how impressed he was with Benavidez against Vazquez.
Let Jimmy do his thing.
How impressed were you?
Let him finish.
How dare you, man? How dare you?
Stop interrupting Jimmy. Let him talk, man. Come on.
Yeah.
God damn,
Dude said that. I'm just talking about the dude with the chat, with the fucking super chat saying, you know, Teo beat our God. Like, my question to him is like, who's your favorite fighter, guy? Bet you probably Hank or maybe in Haney. I don't know. He's obviously aggravated about something we're saying because nobody.
Good Lord.
And then you say exactly, and then just go, okay, let's see what
David's undefeated.
Your guy has done. Oh, I'm sorry, and compared to what Lomachenko's done.
Nobody. He's fought nobody.
Yeah, Lomachenko. Has he ever earned a title shot in his fucking career? They just give it to him on a silver platter.
The first 11 fights, like Steve Redman said, the kid punched his ticket into the Hall of Fame by his 12th professional fight. His first 10 opponents were current or ex-world champions, first in history of boxing, doing something like that. The fastest become a 3-division world champion, first in history. He made guys to a world level, guys who broke Dernier's jaw. Made him fucking quit because he's so fucking talented. So people can say, I lost 3 times and all the other fucking goofy box wreck shit.
I reckon he lost 4. I reckon he lost against Ortiz as well.
What was that?
What?
I reckon he lost against Jermaine Ortiz as well. So that's 4.
Listen, Ortiz doesn't agree with you on that.
So he's, what is he, 17, 16 and 4?
Brody, he got trained by a Cuban trainer. He fought like an amateur against Teo.
In 3.
I mean, he lost to a guy with about 12 losses. Imagine, how do you lose to a guy with 12 losses?
Your boy's on his 30th professional fight. He fought Dubois.
Yeah.
Lomachenko was fighting better than that in his fucking second professional fight.
David hasn't lost to somebody with like 15 losses, has he?
By his 4th fight, he has better. Listen,
You mean
I'm not going to suck back in this Mirage. We already proved you didn't even know who Salido was.
I know, it's so
you know
stupid.
nothing about him.
Just stop. That's why you can't have conversations.
I know how many losses
this
he's got.
kind of shit. You were like too young to watch boxing.
I know he's got double-digit losses. I know that.
You have you're tugging on your daddy's pant leg. You're like, I know who that guy was. Like, no, you didn't, because Jimmy had to prove it to you. You made yourself look really fucking stupid.
Now he beats up Cambosis now suddenly.
And now we're going to keep going down that road, I guess. Okay.
Is he back in the pound for pound, or he never left, right? He was always pound for pound. He loses and he goes up to the pound for pound.
Mirage, where's Benavidez in the pound for pound? Where's Benavidez in the pound for pound?
I'm not really into the pound for pound. If I had to pick a list,
why you brought it up?
if I had to pick a list, David's number one, obviously.
Why did you bring it up?
Why
did you bring it up?
Obviously.
David's
so we can talk about David. He was trying to wind this way around the Benavidez somehow. I don't know how you would make a. I don't know how you correlate it.
He's not fighting Salidos for a belt. He's fighting top class.
So you're embarrassing yourself now. Listen. Know what this is? You know what this is? Right now, you're the acolyte of boxing fucking YouTube.
The power of many. You mean the power of many?
Benavidez moves up in weight.
The power of many.
And he claims that you're not giving me a shot. Motherfucker, enforce your WBC mandatory. You haven't done shit. At least do that.
Recognize. This guy's had 2 shots already.
Yeah, he had a forfeit. He's been champion twice and blew it both on his own on the scales into his nose.
Because he's a fat ass. Yep. That's why. Mirage,
he's a cokehead.
He's a fat ass.
Canelo's
a fat ass. He's a fat ass. What do you mean?
No, nobody cares about Benavidez.
He's a fat cokehead. He's a fat cokehead.
He's just
Canelo's scared of a cokehead? Canelo's scared of a fat cokehead, man, really?
Who's even talking about Canelo?
I thought he was the man. I thought Canelo's the man.
Bro, listen, you can't even compare Benavidez to Canelo. You can't compare him.
Benavidez walk around.
You can't compare him to Loma either. You can't compare him to Loma at all.
Benavidez Wilder
doesn't belong in that conversation. That's what we were talking about before Benavidez.
You can't compare David to a guy with 3 losses. I agree. You can't do that. That's insulting.
I'm sorry. The big boys are talking. You need to stop for a second. The big boys are talking. You need to stop for a second.
When you start judging a dude's career by his losses, you know what I say? Okay, let's set him in the little table. You know what I mean? At Thanksgiving.
Oh, no, you judge
All right, guys. Nobody cares about Mirage. Come on.
All right.
It's getting boring. We talked about this before.
All right, moving on.
Look at the fucking numbers. Numbers are going down. People are dropping off.
When you talk about, you know what I noticed about Mirage? As soon as you start talking about another fighter and he doesn't hear Benavidez, he gets really upset.
Yep.
Because he's a cocksucker.
I didn't even bring him up. You guys bring him up.
Oh, I know. That's the problem.
Who brought up Benavidez? It wasn't any of us.
You did. He did.
No, it was Quags. It was Quags or somebody.
Just your boys bring up Benavidez, Mirage.
Oh, God.
You ruined the show.
None of us brought him up.
I was talking about Loma. I was cooking Loma.
Yeah, but then you're talking about Loma. You're talking about Loma to Jimmy, and then from nowhere, Benavidez got in the conversation. Jimmy didn't bring him up. Recognize didn't bring him up. I didn't bring him up.
Listen, I'll take responsibility for it.
It was you, right? Because you said why?
Because he's a fucking fanboy.
No, I don't remember. You mentioned it because you were like, oh, why Benavidez and not the pound for pound? Loma is in the pound for pound with like 3 losses or whatever.
Yep.
No.
Yep. You know what, guys? We're wrong.
It was a long time for him.
What do you want to talk about?
He has twice the resume as much less fights. He has
what do you want to talk about?
Benavidez has.
So you want to talk about Teofimo Lopez, the guy who's in your top pound for pound fighting a fucking janitor? You want to talk about that? We can talk about
that. Canada.
Steve Claggett's one of Mike Tyson's punch out. He's like the first guy you beat up a Mike Tyson's punch out. He's the biggest can.
Pretty much, man. I'm not even interested in that.
Why are you bringing up
your special fighters?
Why are you bringing up your
top pound for pound?
Why are you bringing him up?
He's another hype job.
Okay, so why are you bringing up
where's your point with this? Where's your point with this?
My point is he's another overrated fighter that you guys put on the pedestal.
Wait, I want to hear Mirage's point on this. because he's bringing up quality of competition. He's setting himself up for it with historians that are going to destroy him with
He's
it.
overrated.
And I want to hear him first.
He's overrated. He's struggling and losing to C-level competition, and he's one of the top pound for pound according to the experts of the sport. So I'm telling you, this guy is not all that. That's the point.
Well, I mean, some of us aren't necessarily going to disagree with some of those comments, but
and now look how he's moving. Who's he fighting? That's the best guy he could fight. That's the best guy he could find.
You're talking about his quality of competition, though. That was the main thing you brought up. Quality of competition.
No, his performances against that. His performances, mediocre performances. Yeah, a lot of them.
Your first point was he's about to take on a janitor, right or wrong?
He's fighting a janitor next year.
Right. Okay. So right now, would you call Roy Jones a great fighter or not? He fought a trash man. He fought a trash man. Would you fight Sugar? Would you say Sugar Robinson was a great fighter?
You call Benavidez?
Because he fought guys in 100 fights. They were there on the debut.
Hey, who is Benavidez or Roy Jones? 168.
You call Benavidez a great fighter, but not Roy Jones?
Who said Roy was a great fighter?
I asked you. Saucy. Hit the like. Hit the like. We get it saucy.
Let me talk to Mirage.
I'm talking about
who said Roy wasn't a good fighter? Who said Roy wasn't a good fighter?
Nobody talked about Roy. You tried to deflect.
I didn't deflect. It's called an analogy. It's called an analogy. I'm making a comparison. I'm making a comparison.
What trash can did he fight? What trash can and what stage of his career? What are you talking about?
At the stage of his career before he fought John Ruiz.
Yeah, who
at the peak of his game. At the peak of his game, he fought a trash. He tried to fight a trash.
He beat James Toney.
Who's the fighter? Name the fighter.
He beat James Toney. He beat Bernard Hopkins.
No. He has a garbage man on his record, and the garbage man was Glenn Kelly, and it was the night that Bernard Hopkins fought in Reading.
What's the name?
Glenn, I just told you, Glenn Kelly.
Glenn Kelly.
First of all, why are you asking me if you know so much about boxing? Why are you
Glenn Kelly? That was my friend, dude. That guy was
irrelevant right now. Let's talk about what's hot. Let's not talk about what's
Glenn Kelly was ranked in the top 10. That's the Aussie dude. He was ranked in the top 10.
Talk about hot garbage right now.
Glenn Kelly was a contender. Was a legit contender.
He was the garbage man.
Glenn Kelly's not even ranked. I mean, Plaggett's not even ranked in the fucking top 50, probably.
Yo, what's going on?
You don't even know.
I didn't see that you were there.
Probably. So you don't even know.
Where's Plaggett ranked?
So you don't even know. Thank you.
Who cares, though?
Do you know?
No one brought him up.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this hot garbage conversation.
I'm not watching that fight. I'm watching Juan Francisco Estrada. I'm watching that fight. I don't care about that fight.
That's no way the best.
Benavidez
needs Canelo. Canelo doesn't need Benavidez.
So what do you want? He wants to
showcase my prediction.
He wants to showcase fight.
All right, guys. This is Bucho, guys. All right, hold on. Let's all calm down. Hold on.
I said it. I called it.
All right.
Yeah, but guys, Bucho talks, everybody's got to stop. It's his show.
Well, it's not, okay. Let's just, because too much chaos here. All right, let Quantum go ahead.
Why?
Yo, salute to Quack, salute to everybody on the panel. Of course, in the nombre del Padre, del Hijo, Espíritu Santo. You already know. Yes, you are already, because it's Friday night, and you know how we do it over here. Let me tell you this. My predictions were absolutely correct. Before even other channels predicted them, I said Tank Davis 8-10. I said Deontay Wilder's finished. He's so finished that even his wife divorced his ass. That's all I got to say about that. But let's move to the future.
I also got to say, if you've been engaged for more than 4 years, you're a side piece, bro. He's not even married to Wilder.
No. Are we going there?
I don't even know about that. Yo, that reply didn't make no sense. I don't even know.
No, it made perfect sense.
Like, listen.
You don't have. Well, what the fuck you brought him up for?
You know,
nice talking to you, Rob. Nice talking to you.
I'm just making a joke,
Rob, nice talking to you. Bye. We have to end the show. Bye.
No, you're gonna end the show on them. You don't end the show on me. I'll stop my own live.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
Do it.
No, I'm saying like, yo, dude, sit down. Who the hell is that guy over there? Sit him down, yo, and get his order ready. Yo, sit down. Take a seat over there.
Take Mirage with you, and the show's over.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. Yo, so check it out like this, yo. What do you guys think about tomorrow night? We talk about boxing. Let's talk about UFC. Alex Pereira with a rematch. What do you guys think?
Yeah, fuck all that. Anyway, So Benavidez' resume
So we
compared
gotta
to
Roy Jones
Lomachenko.
fighting a tomato can then.
How about Benavidez versus resume? Who's got a better one?
Yeah, David's got one of the best resumes in the whole sport of boxing.
Oh, he does. Explain it to
No,
me.
he doesn't. Mirage.
David
Why do
Lemieux,
you-
Caleb Plant, Demetrius
God.
Andre.
The best resume is
Why?
Fucking migraine.
4 champions or 4
Mirage,
champions.
Benavidez got the most washed resume in boxing today.
Definitely one of the best.
He was never a champion at
I know
168.
respect Caleb Plant because that's a man's man.
What are Lomachenko's best wins again? What are Lomachenko's best wins? What are Lomachenko's best wins?
He is, bro, but he got the gassing of a soda
He
can.
fought. Come on, dude. You don't even know the guys he fought. You don't know anything about fucking the Jamaican boy.
But he'll still beat the shit out of you.
I'm asking you to tell me who his best wins.
Be real when a person's real.
What?
What the fuck did you say?
I don't know. Some guy's blazing, playing or something.
Man, too many people here.
Dude, you just sounded like the fucking, that meme when she says, "You have bad hair." What did you just say? That's what you just sounded like.
Oh, I never seen
funny
that.
as fuck, man. Oh, man, Anchorman, watch
let's
it. It's a
get
funny
this party
shit.
going.
I'm
Let's
getting
get
muted.
this.
What am I supposed to do when I'm getting muted?
I didn't mute you.
What am I supposed to do? Argue with the air?
What? All right. Well, we got Dora here. Dora maybe wants to say something. Go ahead, Dora.
Dora.
They need to let Benavidez continue to develop his resume. I agree with Mirage a lot on Benavidez, but it's not better than Loma's clearly. And I still think Benavidez will probably beat Canelo, and then the fight's never going to happen. So that's about it, really. I was going to talk about some other shit, but if this is just going to be another Canelo shit.
No, fuck Benavidez. Let's talk about something else,
Wait.
man.
BD, I know that dude. Yo, BD, that's the dude I was telling you about that used to deliver the Chinese food. That was the last stream that I had before my accident. That's the dude right there. He knows who I am. He knows what I'm talking about.
All right, Dora, do you know what you're talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yo, you have the little scooter. You have the scooter, remember?
Why is all these guys that are jumping on? Like,
I don't know
that's
you,
what
bro.
they special X last. Like, come on,
That's
B.
the dude. That's the fucking dude right
You're
there.
insane.
That's the dude
All
I
right.
told you that.
Dora,
he was
do you
on
know
my
this guy?
stream delivering pizza, like Chinese food.
Yeah, I know.
That's his boy.
I believe you.
Stay confirmed.
Did he or did he not deliver
I think
Chinese
Dora, he
food
just said
before?
yes, so he just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know him. So.
Yep.
Yo,
All right.
yo, did
right,
you
that
not
was
or
him.
not deliver Chinese food?
Yeah,
He does.
Rob,
He
man,
does.
nice talking to
Great.
you, man.
He does.
Don't you got a Diddy party to go
Time for you to
to?
go, man.
Time
Bye.
for your.
Go to a Diddy party.
Yo, this is the thing, yo.
Nice talking to you. Bye.
He was, no, he
I don't
was
know,
on
Jimmy.
the
Goodbye.
live stream. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, he still sounds the same. I don't know if everybody else sounds the same, but we all sound the same.
What is it, open mic?
Yeah, dude, are you on
I don't know.
Is there any boxing conversation?
Yo, I don't know.
I'm kind of scared.
But I wouldn't mind an open dike. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you come here to fucking put on your material? Test it out?
You know what's going on, Jimmy? You know what's going on, Jimmy?
Stop shouting so much.
He was trying to be like the funny guy. He was trying like random one-liners into someone's sticks.
Yeah.
Or he's having like an Adderall spike. He's just like, he has to yell it out real quick. But
Yo,
I get
whatever
it.
drugs you
Yeah,
take.
take Mirage.
Yo,
I get it.
my God. Whatever drugs you take, you should have given it to Joe Biden.
Sideways and left.
I
you
heard
have to
that.
know exactly how to move. You got to know how to slither within the little grasses and the passes and the lasses and the
What
molasses.
the hell he's talking about, yo?
I was, you know what's fucked up? I was caught in a scarasis the other night.
Exactly. Yo, remember Scholastic magazines when we were kids? What?
Oh, man. Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely.
I think they still
No.
have them.
How old are
You
you?
got a 0.
God damn. No.
He's 10.
Jesus Christ. All right. Let's
Friday
move
night.
on here. let's move on. Anybody bring up anything other than you, Quantum? You can join in once
Rodriguez.
Let's discover the subject.
Actually,
the way tomorrow.
The Wayne.
Yeah,
actually, the way he's right now,
going to be shot.
They just Wayne Estrada.
Homosexual.
No, yeah, they just weigh themselves in.
It's just a passing of the torch fight. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Man, but no matter what, though, dude, he's moving like no other American, man. I got so much respect for Bam.
That is true.
Like he tells Garcia, man, he's always looking. Dude, just look at the names the guys fought. Regardless, even if they're on a downslope, these are the best of the division constantly, you know?
Yeah.
And he doesn't take fucking soft touches. He studies the game. Garcia says he's the first one to show up, last one to leave the gym. One of those dudes trains his balls off. Really fucking likes. So I hope that kid gets all the fucking just rewards he deserves.
So let's say for a second there's an upset, and not Bam being the upset, but that Gallo pulls off an upset. Where do we put him pound for pound off of pulling off an upset like this?
If Gallo pulls an upset and beats Bam,
yeah,
depends on how the fight is. If it's a great fight, you know what I mean. You'd have to really talk. You know what I mean. Gallo would kind of be back. Would be relevant again, that's for sure.
If it's a solid win and not controversial, but he comes in and turns back the clock, which I don't know if many people think he can do, but let's just pretend for a second that he does. Where do we put him? What do we do with him?
Probably number 5, I'd say. I'd put him above Canelo.
Back on the pound for pound, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, but, top 10.
I'm gonna tell you something though.
Number 5.
I will give you something though. I have
pound fighter, so yeah, I would say all the way.
I got the feeling that Bam is gonna get hit hard a couple of times, even maybe her bat, because something that Estrada likes to do is throw a lot of combinations, and he always comes with those combos that come from awkward angles as well. That's how he catch you. If you're not mind your guard, or you don't have your you don't mind all your P's and Q's, man, he can get you with some nasty combinations. He has some Munguia type combinations, the guys can crack you.
Get into a Chocolatito, man.
Yeah, we Chocolatito. Yeah, we Quadras, Rumbicide, a whole bunch of guys, man. Hernandez.
Yep. That's why if Bam does beat him, to me that's a big feather in his cap.
And Estrada is one of the guys. If you try to teach somebody how to throw combinations the right way with the right amount of power, that's the guy. Because man, his combinations are really good. His combinations reminds me a lot of a prime Linares. That were just nasty. Linares gets a lot of respect.
This is one of the best combos. They were just, what did Doug Fisher say? They were butter. Man, absolutely.
And it's crazy. I actually I've trained a couple of times with Linares, and man, in the gym, people that just sit down to look at him he's working on the backs. He's just say whatever you want to think about him, his career now, but in the gym he's something else. Everybody, even at this stage, you sit down to look at him work.
Yeah, he's beautiful. He's terrible. He's terrible. Oh, not terrible, but I mean you do not want to be his sparring partner, I guess, to put it that way. Yeah, he fucks people up. I've seen it.
All the other pros respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. He does.
Finish up, Quicks.
Let me say this real quick. If Linares opens a YouTube channel just like him training, hitting the back and shit, bro, he won't get a lot of followers. He has a pleasure to see him, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead, Quest.
Oh no, I was just saying he's nasty in the gym. I know exactly what you're talking about. That guy.
Oh yeah, he is, man.
Fuck that.
If he would be a little bit more popular, man, he would be one of those guys that people will watch his videos nonstop. He's.
And he never had a home fight, man. Fucking dude. I think he lives in Japan now. It's weird, but yeah, he's always fought everywhere too. I think he's fought 11 different countries. It's crazy.
Nah, he's the man. He's the man.
Wow, he lives in Japan. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I think he lives in Japan. He speaks Japanese.
He translates for
Sorry?
He translated for the new one. And when he got like some type of award here in New York, he was the one who translated. I wonder
Spanish to Japanese isn't an easy transition, and he does it pretty good too. You know, he even covers the dialect right.
I don't think anything.
Yeah, he's a smart folk though. He's a smart folk. He's one of the guys like he had like a good career, and even though he probably retired, like he's not one of those guys who's gonna see him like end up broke. He's such a smart guy.
Right. Yeah, I don't think anything language-wise like English, Italian, Spanish, none of that translates well to any of the Asian languages. That was hard.
Did he live in Japan for a little while?
Yeah, still does, I believe. Recognized.
Oh, it still does.
That's what we're talking about.
Speaks fluent Japanese.
I mean, who are we talking about?
That must have took a while, but good for him. There is nothing in phonetically in Spanish that really lines up like in Japanese.
Spanish, right? It's a feminine feminine language.
Well, even same with
Japanese
English
is masculine.
It's Latin, like French, like even like there's words that cross over, even in German, from English to German. Like there is not. I don't even know if there's a crossover. I have to really look at it. Like there's some things that kind of sound alike, just like when you hear mate, that means stop in Japanese. Like when you hear certain things, like the feeling gives you the command a little bit. But like, yeah, there's not a lot of crossover there. He must be fairly smart to pick that up.
Well, dude, you ever fucking have a Japanese person ask you for directions and another person's gonna fucking translate? It's like, what are you looking for? Oh, all right, you go about 4 miles down the road, you take the second set of lights and take 3 rights. Oh, he turns to the guy and goes, do you like, oh, thank you, and he walks away. It's like, fucking wait a minute, dude, you made 5 sounds. How the fuck did you just translate? You know what I mean? So how do you go? That would scare the shit out of me. I'm like, I'm not gonna learn that.
Well, it is a tonal language. That's another thing people don't understand is that they actually use like pitch to convey certain words, especially in Chinese. That's definitely a tonal language. So like you have to really listen. That's why I'm surprised that he picked that up, because you really have to listen to the way they say things sometimes.
No, you're right. And especially in places like Okinawa, they like press the S's real hard. They'd be like Sokolo Garigriwas. And like what? Like no, yeah, like I had a couple of
his life story.
Yeah, for real. No, I had a couple of amateur fights over there too, and it was kind of incredible. Like in one city, it looks like a video game, like futuristic. And like 9 miles down the road, it's just like like terrible country. Like they're still like picking up rice with hands and shit. Like
oh, is this where in China?
No,
this is Japan.
Oh, okay. No, oh, so you went out? You're near an agricultural area?
No. I went for a couple of trips. One was for baseball and like one for boxing. And
awesome.
And the thing is, like in one city, like Tokyo, like it looks like a video game, like so futuristic. Like 9 miles down the road is like just like a rural ass, like country ass town. Like not even cars or road are like around.
Ever see those fucking videos? Dudes will take the train on purpose with hidden cameras and shit to put in a bag across from on the train and to pretend they're sleeping with money sticking out of their pocket. 90% of the times, people either push it down or wake them up and tell them your money's about to fall out. So like, no spray paint, nobody throws in front of the train. You know,
I would have took it out of it. You know what you should do?
Listen,
you know what you should do, Jimmy? You should take it out of his pocket and like physically force it into his mouth as he's sleeping. Right there, you go, motherfucker. Just like choke on that.
The discipline in Japan is not matched to like no other. Like I remember, because the thing is like right after like we train and practice, right? Like we just walk around like just hanging out, right? And I think it was fun. Like everybody was just looking at us. We look so different, like, and something that I noticed over there is like the cars that have like plates like for days, like they cannot. Guys, there's certain cities like they're so overpopulated, and like they
they're epicenters. That's why.
There you go.
Like they have a lot of there's a think about how hard it is to get around in Japan, especially if you ever been to Tokyo. I've been once. and it's impossible. So a lot of people don't own cars. They have a lot of public transit around there. So if you don't live inside of that, how in the fuck, or what are you going to do once you are inside there? You can't park your car anywhere. There's no place to put it.
Have you noticed how they like something that like caught me by surprise? Like, for example, like they like walking upstairs, right? Then now use like both lanes for like going upstairs or something. Like one, like say like the right going upstairs and the left is just going downstairs. Like no one is going to the left. Yeah,
they're like it's very high.
That's
very high. It's very high mind. Like they have a protocol for everything. That's like you don't walk down the street and like try to eat or drink anything. They'll look at you like you're a fucking ape. Like sit down on. They'll literally tell you like to go sit down and like and finish what you're doing. Like they don't want. It's weird, but I mean it's their culture. You have to respect it or get out.
There's no garbage on the streets. There's no garbage on the streets. It is completely clean, and they don't beat the horn at everybody. They'll like make hand gestures if someone gets in another person's way, but they will not like. And they yell inside the car, but they're not beeping their horns. There's just something different about them. You walk down the street, you hear cars going by, but you don't hear a single horn.
Yeah, they're more respectful people in that regard because they give you the benefit of the doubt, I guess, is kind of. And you know what? Also, it is like they're not going to sit there and make a disturbance just because you were inconvenienced. So you have to think about the whole scope of it.
I definitely enjoyed Japan out there. I definitely enjoyed that.
That's awesome.
I said, would you call them honorable?
Honorable? They're really nice people. You know what Japanese people are in a nutshell, in my opinion? They're kind of like a nut or an egg. Like once they're really hard on the outside. But once you crack the shell, they're really nice people and they're very kind. You just they're not going to open up to you right away though. They have.
I feel like opening up to you right now.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's weird.
Mariconazo, man.
Thank you for.
Listen, don't be homosexual about it. Don't be homosapien
What are you trying to open up, bro? What are you talking about?
Yo, this guy's opening up about Chinese food or some shit. Like I don't know what to do.
Japan. They're different countries, bro.
That don't make no sense, bro. You so.
Hey Rob. Seriously, we're gonna end the show. Okay, bye. We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, end the show. But remember,
we do that.
You're not. You're making the shit boring. Yo, let's talk about today.
And then we can end the show. You got to leave.
Let's talk about tomorrow.
Nah, it's all good. Anyways, so check it out like this. Hit the like. You guys already know. If these guys are boring you, I'm here to save you. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to save everybody from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that should be talking are not talking. The people that shouldn't be talking are talking. Check this out.
I'm so confused. Hit the like, people. Hit the like. And yeah, let's keep this show fucking going, man. Come on.
Yo, predictions. Who got predictions? What do we got out here?
For what? You're being very obscure.
We got
listen, don't be a homosapien
Bam is
right
winning.
Now.
I think we'll have Bam here. Right?
Yep.
Right?
Bam.
Yo, what do we got? Yo, what do we got against Lomachenko and Tank predictions?
I mean,
they're not going to fight.
Are they fighting or not? I mean, it seems like, I think they are.
Yo, Quags, what do you think? I want to hear Quags. Quags, what do you think?
I think it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter, man. There's no contract. So, Reckon I was about to tell you that.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
No, you try to bypass me, but I already said that.
Right? I'm not even gonna fucking entertain it until the contract's been signed.
What do you feel Tank should do next?
Isaac Cruz at 140.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But even
I would like that.
Even that he doesn't want. Even that he doesn't really want it because the guy just see right now he's in a dilemma. He realizes now that his fucking big pay-per-view stardom it was tied to Ryan Garcia because suddenly when he's fighting without Ryan there. He's doing pedestrian numbers at best. So he knows he has to do something because he's fighting himself in their fucking obscurity.
But Jimmy.
His people, but that's it.
Jimmy, do you
know
think...
what's kind of funny, Jimmy? He was doing good numbers until that fight happened. Now it kind of fucked up his metric a little bit, because everybody was fine and happy calling him around like 250 when he was fighting or even less than that possibly. But now that he had that big fight with Ryan, they're like, oh, yeah, this is what he does now. It's like, all right, let's see what's going to come up next.
According to Steven Espinoza, there was one pay-per-view. He kind of ratted on himself in a live because they're waiting for the Hector Garcia's numbers to land. And a reporter asked him, "So how's this tracking?" And he's like, "Well, we're not at 2 yet, which is the only fight the only fight he's ever done." Well, no, he said, "We're not at 2 yet, like we were with what's his name, Rolly, but that was the most he's ever sold." He said that. Then he said, "But with this, so that tells you right there. So you're not even at 2, and the only time Rolly was the highest numbers, and that was the only time he did over 2 was with Rolly. So that means 5 pay-per-views out of his 7 did under. Well, listen." I
call him Rolly-Poly.
They say about Rick. They can say all they want about Rick. He's been proven right number of times. He's tweeted out numbers that exactly match what later the PBC did say, and he said straight up. And it makes sense. Isaac Cruz was the lowest of all. That thing did 55,000 pay-per-views because Isaac Cruz was a last-minute replacement for Rolly. Remember, because he got supposedly caught fucking, touching diddling chicks out in Vegas, which got thrown out. So. Yeah, he was a late-minute replacement. It was on a Sunday, Los Angeles. Everything about it was bogus. So that only did 55,000. So if you averaged them out, I'm telling you right now, 5 of the fucking 7 pay-per-views probably did around 120,000, and I'm being generous on average. But where the one outlier is when he fought fucking Garcia. So everybody who acted like Tank's the man after that. 1.2 million. He's the face of boxing. He's replaced Canelo. No, he didn't.
All right. Wait a second.
Wait back at the numbers he was doing before.
No, all right. So what about this?
Numbers.
What about this? I got something special right now. What about Tank Davis versus Teofimo Lopez? Oh.
I mean, okay, Mr. Obvious, thank
you for throwing something out there that we can never have thought of.
Yeah,
How fucking amazing.
I just wanted to mind blown you.
He's not going to 140 to fight someone who could beat him. Let's just be honest. You got to remember,
what does everybody think about that fight, though?
Believe he's going to win. He's never been the odds-on favorite.
What do you think? What do you think? Don't talk about what you're saying. Talk about what you think, how this would go.
All right, there you go.
Tell me how it would go.
The only time he wasn't the Vegas odds-on favorite was when he fought Pedraza. But after the weigh-in, Pedraza looked so ghostly, gray, and ashy. It was so emaciated. The fucking bet line changed. Tank was the favorite. So he's never actually stepped in the ring and been not the favorite to win. So he's never even been in a 50-50 fight. And now he's 30 years old.
I mean, you can't say that either because at the end of the day, when you go in there, it's you against you. Yo, no Rocky IV. I'm just saying, it's you versus you, and any bum can beat you. Everybody has that one punch. Listen, what do they say? The puncher's chance. How do you know that the puncher's chance ain't coming for you on your most lucrative night, that you think you got it, but you don't when you look in the mirror? And the first thing that a fighter said, and I won't name that boxer unless you know your history, and if you know your history, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard said himself, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I just felt something was wrong. I just didn't feel like I had it. And that night, he lost that night. And that's how things go in this game. The thing is not about 50-50. The thing is about you looking at him going against these opponents. Like, all right, but that opponent, we're always going to come up with excuses. We are always going to come up with excuses because we're human and we want to see them push for more. We want more out of them because we know that they have potential.
So what you're saying right now.
So what you're saying, we want to see him. We want to see him put himself in positions where he can actually lose the fight. Not no-hopers, not fucking hand-picked no-hopers. They either dragged up from lower weight classes, or don't have any power. Like Santa Cruz,
you're acting like boxing hasn't been like that. Boxing's been like this for how long?
No,
it's been like this for how long? How long? Don't talk about the 80s.
Well, then why would you ask me how long I've been fucking? Why would you ask me how long I've been following
money? It's all about promotions. It's all about. But now these promotions are getting shut down. Now they need to work together. Now we're about to go back to the 80s. Now
I just wonder if the person who's in charge of his medication knows he has access to a phone.
So that's the thing with you. You gotta understand that we're going into the age that if these people want a paycheck, the best needs to fight the best now, because you know what? We can just get that somewhere else and not even pay to watch it.
I have no idea how you arrived on that.
What is your father, man?
Exact opposite that what's going on right now.
No, this is the thing, Quacks, before I start quacking out here.
Oh my god!
All right, go ahead.
Quantum, where's your father, man?
Yo, with your mother. Oh shit. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So put it like this. So to me, look at this. Yo, you don't even know your mother. He don't even know his father. So put it like this. Let me tell you this. If I look at the fight game right now, we got Ryan Garcia, which is lighting up the internet. Right now, we want the spectacle. We want to be lavish. We want the fights we want. You know why? Because people stop paying for fights. These Showtime, gone. HBO, gone. You know who stepped in? ESPN and Amazon.
Quantum,
You're talking about Titans. No, I'm talking about money. I'm talking about the future of boxing. I'm just talking about
Amazon
the
is
90s.
not giving
Yo,
any
you
money
just want to talk about the past? I want to talk about the future.
All
this
right.
is what's going to happen. So the fight deal,
not giving any money. What do you?
The fight deal that Tank Davis is going to sign is going to shock the world. And I'm just letting people know right now ahead of time. I'm letting people know to get your order ready, because when Tank signs up, you guys are going to be like, yo, this dude really signed up for that many fights with that corporation. Times is changing. Netflix is jumping into the fighting game. Amazon is jumping into the fighting game. ESPN is going to be shut out.
Water break, man.
Let's actually.
Netflix wanted Tyson and Jake Paul. What are you talking about?
Why would Netflix promote boxing? That is insane.
Because they promoted a circus, Jake Paul Tyson, period. You don't know what's coming. You obviously like to listen and don't read.
It never happened.
You like to listen and you don't read. Devin Haney punch.
So
you're not, well, you know what?
So we're watching a movie with subtitles.
Matt Devin Haney punches. That's all I got to say about
watching movies with no subtitles. So we're watching a movie with subtitles.
You're like a brain swell.
Yeah, that's okay, but I'm speaking of facts.
Contusion.
And when you guys see this shit unravel, you guys are going to be like, yo, the guy that was on stream, yo, Quantum Rob was really accurate with what he's saying. Yo, these stream platforms are going to take the responsibility of the fight game. You know why? Because Showtime, HBO is out. How long they been in the game? Mad long. You know why they can't be in the game? Because they can't make money, because they're asking too much money from promoters to promoters. They're going to be forced to work together, and we're going to see the greatest thing. Just like, what is that Indian dude that's making the fight happen in Saudi Arabia? He's making the fights happen. HBO and Showtime. Bro, let me finish here. Let me finish. HBO and Showtime.
Yo, you're a fucking idiot, bro.
HBO and Showtime.
From Vietnam.
All right.
You know what?
All right.
Because that Saudi Arabia, the prince is putting the fights together because you can't go against infinite money. So therefore, Saudi Arabia is the new Madison Square Garden.
All right, Quantum. Hold on, Jimmy. All right.
On either side of your mouth right now.
Everybody's yelling and screaming.
Garden.
Hold on. Guys, let me read a super chat here. We got a super chat from Don Chile Relleno. Thank you for that. He says, this fangirl slobs all over Tank's verguita. All right.
Oh.
That means, yeah, you know what that means. All right. Let's keep the yelling.
Tell that dude he's a Homo sapien.
Let's keep the yelling to a reasonable
You know what
level.
that means, right?
You keep using that word. I don't think you know what that word means.
I know what it means.
I think he
know what it means. It means human being.
He just likes it, you know. Just let him have it.
Yeah, but Quantum, you know there's a difference between a Homo sapien and Homo sapien sapien. You know that, right?
Yeah. That is exactly homosexual.
What's the difference?
Right.
Okay,
I know homosexual. It's all good. There's no need for explaining. There's no need for the perfume. Go ahead.
Yeah, there is a need for explaining, Quantum. You're always looking for
I know. Listen, do you got a rose on your mouth? Do you got a rose in your mouth at the same time?
What does that mean?
All right. So, anyways, what do you guys think of what I was saying? Let's think about reality. What's going on right now? Showtime HBO is out. Our fathers was watching.
Really? I didn't know that.
I know.
I didn't know that. When did that happen?
Right. So, what do you think about Amazon taking over the fight game with UFC? Do you guys know about that deal?
Advertising the fights for PBC.
Why would
Amazon's about to get into the fight game?
No, they're not.
What?
They're having fitted money. You're talking about Amazon and Netflix, the hottest streamers on the planet. They can promote these fighters more than
any kind of live sports. Why would they start with boxing or UFC?
Yo, how much does Amazon own?
Amazon could, but they don't. But this is what you need to realize right now is that boxing or the
PBC. Elon Musk.
You talked a long time.
Tank's gonna sign with Elon Musk.
Guys, Quantum, let other people
Are you on that Neuralink that Elon been talking about?
Elon is about to make his own streaming. He's about to make his own streaming.
He's testing.
I'm telling you guys the truth, and you guys don't want to listen. Elon Musk is about to get into the internet.
I'm going to be honest.
You guys marinate.
I'm going to be honest with you. When I heard that Amazon was getting into boxing, you know what I was saying to myself? The same thing I said when I heard that he died. I hope it's true. That's what I said. Okay?
Damn.
I think what you need to realize is that Amazon isn't fronting anything for boxing. We've talked about this ad nauseum. They're not fronting anything for the PBC. They're not putting up any money at all. It's just not like what they have. They have an MLB contract. That is completely different than what they have with the PBC. They're giving PBC a time slot, and PBC needs to come up with the promotion to fit it. That is it. All right.
And I'm gonna say, Rob, I don't have anything against you, dude. You could be a good kid. I don't fucking know.
He's all right. He's
playing a character, but here's the thing, though, dude. Right? You kind of pushing it to the point. I know a lot of these dudes on here. What's gonna happen? They can only take so much of that crazy shit, and they're just gonna mute you, and you're not gonna be able to call anymore. And I'm not saying that as a threat. I'm just telling you. You seem to like to call the show. I'd probably just kind of lay off that fucking cuckoo bird shit. Don't play it so long and hard.
You're becoming white noise at this point. You're becoming white noise.
Yeah, too much chaos.
I could barely hear you.
Yeah, now you've upset him. Now here we are. Actually, I like this side of him. Continue. Let's go. Let's go with. Well, hang on for a second. We were talking about the Benavidez fight earlier. So if I think Gosdick, I'm not Gosdick. God damn it. Benavidez and
Just try to ignore the G. Try to ignore the G and go Vosdick.
Not that. I know. I didn't even mean him. I meant Benavidez and Bivol have been rescheduled. So is Benavidez going to take that fight? Whoever wins that.
No.
Why?
Because he'll get beat thoroughly.
That's crazy. There's no point for him going to 175 then. I think this whole thing is a fucking bitch ass.
Bro, you know what it was? This is what happened. He wanted an excuse for why he didn't fight Canelo, right? And so he said, "Oh, let me just say I'm going up to 175 because Canelo doesn't want to fight me, right? And then I'll fight Vosdick, a guy who used to be somebody, and maybe I could like show and improve." Then when he got up there, he said, "Damn, this guy would have fucked me up a couple of years ago." Okay, and now he's got to say to himself, "I need Canelo." You know what I'm saying? I need to get that fight.
Yep.
So he's in a bad situation. He's in a fucked up situation, and he only has himself to blame. That's it.
Well, he's in a dumb situation right now because he put himself in position to be in position for the winner of that. And if you were smart, those guys they're gonna have all the shit. They're gonna have all the trinkets all in one motherfucking place. That'd be
I'm not saying, Max, I'm not even saying that he won't go for it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he does, they will fuck him up. Those guys, whoever it is.
Yeah, I said that shit years ago.
No chance he's going for it. No chance. No chance. Listen, we all saw what happened. What happened was this. There was a kid whose reputation has been built by his fan base online and on YouTube. Because it hasn't been by the fucking level of competition he's fought. And the guy who's labeled the monster, two of his last 3 guys, he went the distance with. And he found out 2 weeks before the fight, he said, what do you think I'm doing up at 175 when directly asked? I'm going to campaign up here, and I'm going to fucking take the belts. I'm going to fucking go through everybody like I do. After the fight, things change. I'm going to go back down to 168 and fight Canelo. Of course you are.
Jimmy.
Of course you are. Yes, brother.
Canelo's gone the distance in his last 5 fights. Now what?
I'm gonna wait. Time out. Yeah, what fan base? What fan base, Jimmy? I'm confused.
And why is it David's fault? Isn't it Canelo's fault for not giving?
I'm about to have I just want to have some crumpets right now.
Oh, come on!
I just want to know
them and just shut the fuck up for a little bit.
What fan base are we talking about? David Benavidez has a fan base.
It's Canelo's fault for not giving him the fight that he's earned, and now he has to fuck around. Now he has to fuck around at 175.
He did that himself.
David's
why he positioned himself.
How's it David's fault?
David's fan base is one person. That's Mirage.
Okay.
It is his fault.
He's earned to fight for Undisputed. The champion won't give him the fight, but
I don't see how being gossip does any
You're a bunch of fanboys. You guys are.
That is crazy.
You're the fanboy. You're projecting. You're being the fanboy.
Mirage, if he was that guy, he would go
over Tank. But
if he was that guy, he would stay at 175 and fight for the championship.
Tell Benavidez to get on his
knees. If he was really that guy, he would have fought Bivol, beat him, and be like, "Hey, Canelo, where the fuck you at?"
At least he'd wait to the end of this, right? Like you have the perfect doctor. You're gonna have all the guys. One of the guys is gonna have all the shit.
Get this all out of here, man. This guy's a fucking pro.
All right, guys, come on. Quantum, you need to chill out, man. Seriously.
Yo, am I that loud?
Yeah, you're very loud.
Yeah,
you're just screaming.
Mirage, can you take your cousin with you, Mirage? Can you take your cousin Quantum with you?
Yeah, I was just reading the people's chats. That's all I was doing.
Don't read it to yourself. Read it in your mind.
Take a break.
So Canelo's fucking him around, but it's David's fault. Okay, that's cool.
He out of his mouth, he said he doesn't even care about Canelo. I'm going to 175 and taking out that division.
Well, there you go. Then he should be waiting around for the winner of this.
And now he's not allowed to change his mind. He's not allowed to do that.
Why?
He's allowed to change his mind. His mind was changed.
He prefers 168. Is he allowed to do that? Dumb. It's almost as if you're desperate for him to get out of 168 for some reason.
I'm using his own words. I'm using his own words.
Mirage,
I'm staying up here and dominating the division.
Please, just leave.
Dude, you come off 3 years off the bench.
Please go away.
I would say if he was as good as advertised and he were to go up in the weight like he did, with all the confidence that you have, he should want that fight. And what is your 168 is a relatively new weight class.
You're begging a guy to leave a division.
How you a monster if you're? How you a monster if you got a gift decision against a wash?
I've never seen
light heavyweight is much more marquee than 168.
Because
has there ever been a more bitch ass fan base?
Oh my god! I don't know. Well, you don't even have a fan base. David fan base is just you, Mirage.
Fight the guy. Go fight the fucking 2 dudes that make sense at 175.
Ring of IQ told me.
You don't want to do it, dude. He's scared.
Hey, Quantum, dude, stop with the background noise, dude.
Are you insane?
Reading the comments.
I don't care, dude. I'm telling you, you're this close again. All right, okay. You want to see how much you care, dude?
Yeah, I care about how much
you care.
He's going to throw you out.
Dude, literally, you're fucking twat here away from being muted out for the night. All right, guys, whack him the fuck out.
Richo, mute this dude, man.
Yo, let this go, Jimmy.
There you go.
This guy's hammered.
Fucking moron.
All right, let's switch it up. Guys,
I'm fucking tired of that.
I want you guys.
I want you guys to shit.
Real quick, I want you guys to go to my icon and raise the volume.
Okay.
Yes, I just did. Yeah, you were low.
I'm not going to do that.
Even Mirage can be argued, but at least Mirage doesn't act like a child about it. You know what I mean? At least Mirage talks normal and fucking makes a point.
At least Jimmy can talk normal as well. At least
I wouldn't go that far.
You're okay with Mirage being a cuck, but you're not okay with the Puerto Rican being a cuck. What's going on here, bro?
That's right. He's just randomly saying shit. Like, he's just reading the comments.
So does in the middle of you talking,
man.
Like, people are talking. You need to read in the comments.
All right.
Let's not be selfish. Like, let's read the comments.
All right.
I'm just fucking around, Jimmy. I know you're not racist.
Read the comments, dude. Read the comments, dude. And it's not your show to determine the fucking the outlay of it.
You're supposed to read the super chats, you asshole.
Yeah. You read the comments. Mute yourself.
You read the super chats, you asshole, not every comment.
But I want them to hear that I'm reading them because I like to read them. Is that a big deal?
Read them in your head. Read them out loud in your head, bro.
No, why don't you read them?
He said read them out loud in your head.
I found the problem right
The
now.
comments are interesting. They're saying good things in the comments.
You know what? I was wrong, bro. Kick this dragon out, bro.
Boxing. Let's talk boxing.
It's not that easy with me. It's not that easy with me.
I can do this too.
Let's try to get back to what we were talking about. We have a fucking great light heavyweight matchup coming up. Why doesn't Benavidez stick around for the winner of that?
What about this weekend's matchup?
Because that's going to be like fucking 7, 8, 9 months away.
I think it's happening in September. Am I not mistaken?
Okay, it's happening in October.
Hey, Mirage,
it's happening in October.
Hey, Mirage, between I heard that Arnold Barboza and Jose Ramirez are going to fight. What do you got in that fight, bro? Break it down.
Who gives a shit about them?
You don't give a shit about nothing.
They're fighting in October. So when do you think they're going to be ready to fight? After
bro, break down the fight, Mirage. Let me hear your boxing knowledge, bro.
Yeah, kick some knowledge, Mirage. Break it down.
Okay, did you hear the question?
Yeah.
They're fighting in October. They're fighting. When are they going to be able to fight?
Barboza Ramirez, who you got? Tell us why.
Who cares? I don't care, man. I follow the top elite fighters.
You know who Arnold Barboza is? Do you know who Jose Ramirez?
Yeah. Are you a fucking teacher? Are you a professor? Is that
I'm curious, bro. So you don't? Is the answer no?
Mirage.
Is the answer no?
Mirage.
The answer is I do, but I don't care.
Hit the like.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Two trolls hijacking this fucking stream.
Sort of like you, I don't give a shit about you.
All right, so we don't need to listen to you no more, bro. You don't know boxing, bro. Shut up.
Yeah, we can't just talk about like one boxing the entirety of the cast. You know,
how about Beterbiev?
So I need to care about every fight. I need to care about every.
Wait. Break down Beterbiev and David Benavidez. How would that fight go?
The Sapien.
Oh shit, dude.
David. Beterbiev's got bad defense. In case people have noticed, Yard was piecing him up. David will bust him up and he'll stop him. That's the fact.
You think David will stop him? He was supposed to stop Gosvick, though.
Yeah, I know.
Gosvick was piecing up Benavidez.
Yeah, what about
David? The same person.
What about David's
metric
against Gosvick?
Do you think Gosvick is tougher? You think Gosvick is tougher? You think Gosvick is tougher than Beterbiev?
You understand they're different fighters? You understand they're different? You know that?
So I'm asking you, okay, cool.
Hang on.
Wait. You think Gosvick is tougher? You think Gosvick is tougher than Beterbiev then? He can take a better shot.
You mean the guy that won? The guy that lost, you think it's tougher?
That's what you're saying.
I know it blows your mind. I know it blows your mind.
I recognize. I agree. Being in the ring for 3 years.
Just because one fighter beats another.
I want to bro.
The guy who retired the other guy for 3 years is actually the guy that lost is actually tougher, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and he can still have better defense. Yeah, you can lose to a guy and still have better defense. That blows your mind because you're a
how about those defenses when he was getting pummeled into retirement?
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
But he didn't even see the fight, bro. He's just making shit up.
So just so we're clear, Mirage has David by stoppage against Beterbiev.
So you don't even know Beterbiev's got bad defense.
He doesn't want to stick around for the winner of the
He's been knocked down multiple times.
Mirage, break down David Benavidez versus.
How about I don't do what you told me to do? How about I don't do what you want to do? How about that?
Suck my cock, open wide.
How about I turn you down because you're annoying? There.
Well, why are you on here? You don't get
break down Dimitri Bivol versus
when he's a nobody.
Benavidez. Sobers, you're annoying because you're exposing him.
Sobers, he's a casual. He doesn't even realize it. He's trying to act like he's a professional.
Translation, Sobers exposing.
I would hope you turn down blowing him for a little more than he's annoying.
Says the guy that only
he's annoying.
He's annoying,
Benavidez.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop whinging?
Yeah. Yes or no?
Good.
Yes or no?
Stop whinging.
Whinging. That's interesting. Fucking terminology. Go ahead.
Yo, Mirage always comes to live, bro. Hoping to have like a bar fight or something.
Yeah, yo, Junior. Remember when he was being annoying?
Hold on.
I tried to warn you, dude.
You guys try to gang up. I'm just chilling here. You guys
We're not ganging up, dude.
We try to give you a fucking.
It's literally.
We try to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Keep being annoying. You can't put me out. That's pathetic, man. Pathetic.
I was being really nice. I gave you what
when
you
you're calling in reinforcements like Sobers.
We don't need reinforcements. Sobers just embarrassed you, dude, and he was just doing it for fun.
Is your backup?
Mirage playing victim.
Just like Mirage, relax.
Okay, so just hang on for a second. Let's just get to the crux of what we just talked about. Benavidez can beat Beterbiev, but he shouldn't stick around for the winner of the Beterbiev-Bivol fight, right? But I
don't think he's good enough to beat an old Beterbiev.
He shouldn't just sit there and wait. Okay, what do you want him to do?
We're going to do it. Get the winner. You're waiting for Canelo.
What do you want him to do in the meantime?
You can't secure it. So now what? Why don't you go make your bones somewhere else?
What do you want him to do in the meantime until he gets the fight?
Become the fucking undisputed light heavyweight champian. That's what I'm telling you.
He's not going to get that chance to maybe another year. What does he do until then?
He could potentially get that by literally at the end of the next year. He could get that around like March or February.
Versus who?
What? The winner, obviously. What are you talking about? Do you really need me to break this down? Depending who wins the fight.
Okay, they're going to fight in October. You reckon then they're going to fight in January and February?
Yeah, that seems like a decent turnaround.
No, they never fight that fast ever.
Why?
Who's Benavidez going to fight in October?
So the winner of Bivol Beterbiev, they're going to fight
fighting in September. I thought it was fighting in September, by the way, from what I saw.
Okay, is it September or October?
September is supposed to be Canelo versus somebody. I think
sure it's October.
No, I think it's September.
They're not going to turn around in 3 months and fight David. That's never happened.
No. Bivol, I'm sorry. Bivol and Benavidez is October 12th.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. So it's the beginning, more so beginning of October.
So they're not going to turn around in 3 months and fight David. That's
not 3 months. If you have it in fucking like February to March, that's almost like the opposite end of the year. That's plenty of time. And on top of that, how much time of a camp do you fucking need for shit? What are you talking about? Yeah, you can't stay in camp for if you're in camp for literally over 2 months, you're overtraining. You're overtraining anyway.
People Beterbiev. They're not going to fight 3 months after the fight.
It's not 3 months. It's around like a 5 month time period.
If you overtrain, you smell like shrimp.
Okay, so we're going to March. So what does David do until next March?
Yeah, nobody's worried about Benavidez.
Exactly.
What does David do?
What has he been doing since? How about this? Would you rather get like every single fucking trinket from the biggest, in my opinion, the best marquee weight class at that weight?
Super staff, $44.99.
That's the best. Light heavyweight is one of the best. Shut up for a second, Quantum. Light heavyweight is one of the best titles to hunt. God damn it.
Quantum's actually doing something useful.
He's actually doing something useful. He's being useful.
Put it down. BDA, let everybody know. When you throw down a super chat, you are number one.
Wait, hold on. We need to read the super chat.
When BDA calls out a super chat, everybody.
I muted him, so I can't hear him.
Nobody
unmute him. All right. Read the super chat.
I'm muting him where I can't hear him. I don't think I can unmute him from you guys.
Conte said, no PEDs could Mirage. I like that. I'll hit the like.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that super chat. Don't pen it's on. And yeah, that's a great point. Mirage is on roids.
Yeah, he is. Mirage is definitely on.
He's
gets
on soy milk, dude. That
Ostering.
fucking world's on soy milk.
he's on Ostarine. He's on Ostarine.
Ostarine in it.
He's on an estrogen cocktail.
It's such an old drug. You know what's kind of funny about that?
Yeah, he's
afraid of Mirage.
Eggs.
That's such an old drug, though. That's what they caught. That's when they were catching people in the Olympics, and they did the same thing Mexicans were doing with clenbuterol. Shut up for a second. Just shut up.
Yo, listen, I'll cook some eggs.
All right, good. But they were getting. They had Austrian in the Russian cattle. I think honestly, I think it's kind of similar. I think clenbuterol and Austrian are similar substances, from what it seems like. They've been put in, and you can actually ingest it.
Yeah.
See, Ryan should have came up with.
Yeah, I don't care about people ingest. Every time you throw a super chat, you're gonna get shit out by me. That's what's gonna happen.
Ryan got that boy Devin Haney scared shitless of Ostarine.
Listen, Devin Haney would never be the same ever again.
That's like,
yo, let's not even talk about Devin Haney. Like, I'll beat the shit out of Devin Haney in a street fight. Like, yo, I'll tackle him.
I'm just
Devin Haney's a bitch.
It's just stupid to get caught with something like that.
Bill Haney's a bitch.
All right, cool,
bro, man.
Yo, Bill Haney, if you're listening,
that's just some.
Get on live stream right now.
That's just some. We need to get this. We need to get this ugly motherfucker his O back. That's all that is.
Yeah. Well, obviously. I mean, look. They've done it twice now. I would love somebody has some footage of what happened to him in Mexico. That will surface one day.
I guarantee you. I've seen 3 fights of this. I've seen 2 fights and he lost, and he got the win. He ended up, or at one of them, he got his L back. One of them I heard about. So so that's 3. Okay, I'm not. Trust me. Something happened in Mexico. That boy got his ass beat, and he got his 0 back. Simple as that.
I think they did. You know what I think they did? I think they. I'll bet you it was an unsanctioned fight initially, and then if he would have won, they were going to record it. But I think that was the out that they had. I'll bet you they took him into an unsanctioned fight, and they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. That's never happened.
Hey, recognize. You remember when I was saying that shit about Devin Haney and you said you was calling me a hater? I told you.
Well, I mean, you kind of was hating like for Shakur, like you were hating, like you were. And Shakur, but what you don't want to accept is Shakur hasn't. Devin Haney actually a little bit more than Shakur. He did.
Shakur would be the dog out of Devin Haney.
Devin Haney has.
You know what? I hate it when I hear that kind of shit. We just talked about this earlier. Shakur doesn't beat the dog shit out of anything, not even women. That's what we saw that on video. He couldn't even beat the fuck out of a woman. There's something really wrong with this motherfucker. He has all the flash, but there's no thunder. He's kind of soft. What are you gonna do with him?
Especially if you put him there with a guy.
He is. He's supposed to play as soft.
Devin Haney's not a power puncher, so that would be a different fight with him and Shakur.
Well, you think Shakur's a power puncher? Am I really hearing that then?
He's not a power puncher, but he cracks more than Devin.
No,
I think they're comparable. I think they're comparable to each other.
You probably crack harder than Devin, so that's not saying much.
Be honest with you. If I had to, I'll probably take Devin Haney over Shakur. I'm being honest with you. I know you're probably saying,
put your money on there. You fake ass Puerto Rican.
I think he would beat him. I think he would beat him.
You fake ass Puerto Rican. We need to revoke your card, or they should revoke.
I mean, whatever. He's the fake one. He's.
You revoke it.
No. He's the fake one.
Hey guys, we have guys. Sorry to interrupt. We have a super chat from Don Panzon again. He says Turkey Alalchik said Mirage is a Americone. Viva Mexico, cabrones. All right, Mirage is Americone. There you go.
Yeah, he loves people from Arizona.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If Loma is too old for Tank, why is Crawford not considered too old for any of these guys that he's fighting. He's older than Loma.
They were like
I would say this.
Charles
This is what I
Crawford,
would
38, Loma's 37. What are you talking about?
That's
Loma is
but it's completely different. Fucking Terrence Crawford wasn't ducking somebody his whole entire career, waiting for him to fucking age out, and then that's why. Because it's a punk move.
Somebody was. Somebody low-key.
David Davis wouldn't use a word with the letter L in it because he was afraid people would think he said Lomachenko. Let's be honest. For years, he looked at the tops of his feet when Loma's name was mentioned. Oh, no, well. Now all of a sudden, because you can't sell pay-per-views and you fucking and your scam is finally played out, now you got to go after the dude on the downside of his career. Fuck out of here, dude.
You know what?
I'm not saying that to you, but just fuck out of here to fucking Davis.
Jimmy's on the money too. If you wanted to have them fight prime for prime, it would have been when they were at 130. But no, that can never materialize, right? But here we are now. We have like all this bullshit Tank fights guys outside of his weight class that don't even make fucking sense. And he's
Listen,
like, hold on,
I'll tell you right now.
I'm tired of his shit.
I'll tell you right now, Quacks. If they were to fight right now at 135 pounds, right? And if he legitimately beats Lomachenko, props to him.
Fair enough.
I would say this is what I would say. This is what I would say. When he was younger, he didn't want to fight Lomachenko. But when Lomachenko was still good but older, he said, "Okay, I'll fight him now because I think I have a better shot." And I actually beat the dude legit. You know, like I went in there and beat this guy. So,
or either that, recognize. Can you imagine this? Recognize? Maybe one guy just has balls. He's like, you know what? I'm not what I was, but fuck you. I'll do it anyway. Tank never had that. He was a younger man. He looked at him. He's like, fuck this shit. He's like, this guy can take everything I have and halt what I'm doing immediately. So there's a difference there.
Real quick, let me get something off. So I don't know why y'all say Lomachenko is not the same, because based off his last couple of fights, he arguably, well, you guys would say he beat Devin Haney, and you can make most people think he did beat Devin Haney. So he should be undisputed. He beat the dog shit out of Cambosis, somebody a guy like Teofimo struggled with. Stopped him. Nobody stopped him.
That's not the. I'm talking about the skills have diminished.
You have to understand that when a guy.
How do you see that?
Hold on. When a guy's older in his career, he's older in his career. Okay, I'm not talking about his age. As his career goes by, with it's more wear and tear in his body, he's not quite the same.
Not only that,
he's still probably really good.
The mind changes.
You can't say.
I'd still probably go with
better lighter.
And recognize, I'd still probably go with Lomachenko. My thing is this.
I would go with
Lomachenko.
My thing is this. Fuck him.
Tank Davis. Tank Davis.
He don't fucking learn. He don't. All right, dude. I appreciate that, but I'm talking right now. But listen, he don't deserve it. I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
So if he
7 years, you turn down fucking contract after contract.
He's right. He's right. Why would you take that seriously? He hasn't fought anybody. Now you're supposed to believe he's going to do something. That's crazy.
I'd rather see Lomachenko fight someone even tougher and bigger. That's not the point. My point is
Tank doing the Floyd Mayweather, but doing it better. Tank is maneuvering his. Yo, hold on. My turn now. Tank is maneuvering his career better than Floyd Mayweather, and you'll be like, yo, how are you going to say that? Tank is already making more money than Floyd Mayweather at the same age. What are you talking about?
I don't
what are you
think
talking about? He's about to sign a bigger deal than Floyd Mayweather ever even signed. To me, Tank Davis is going to knock out. Watch what I said.
His guaranteed pay was $2 million for his last fight. His last fight was guaranteed $2 million.
Oh my God! Let somebody else talk, man.
You don't want to hear the facts.
Yo, you're telling me that Lomachenko's gonna stop Tank Davis?
What's the second?
What I said was his guaranteed pay was $2 million
in the 11th round. Because he's gonna pulverize the body. Lomachenko
no more Adderall.
At defending the body because it's anti-against his footwork.
All right,
his footwork is only head blocking.
You also said Spence was winning the fight. Remember, you also said Spence was winning the fight.
Who said this?
All right, let's go back to what guys. Let's go back to what Dirk was saying. Dirk, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was saying Lomachenko is still really good. So I think Tank would deserve some credit if he does, especially if he beats him in dominant fashion. Nobody's ever beat
not a fucking ounce of credit. I wouldn't give him a fucking.
No, listen.
On a burger.
If he actually beat Lomachenko, meaning he either wins a 12-round decision that he actually deserved, or he stopped him, and it was an actual, meaningful stoppage.
Like a spark.
I would say, listen, Tank did pretty good against a guy who was aging, but he's still really good. He's still like an important figure. Is he as good as when he was fucking making dudes say no mas? Of course not. No, he's not.
It should happen a long time ago. That's why everybody's pissed off.
I would agree with that.
So there's 2 points. The reason why Lomachenko is not looking the same to you guys is because once he went to 35, he's no longer fighting men anywhere near his size.
Yeah, and speed's diminished too. He's older. His feet aren't as fast. He's staying in the pocket a lot more.
Look at him when he says it himself. He's not delusional about it. He says it. I'm not the fighter I was. I'm not the fighter I was 5 years ago. He knows his skills are diminished. And the point is, when his skills weren't diminished, he would literally walk in a room. If Davis was there, he'd look at the tops of his shoes. It's ridiculous. So for him to fucking want to fight him now, it's so fucking. Dude, bullshit.
It's crazy.
Little. He's naturally.
Hey, how old is Lomachenko?
Ratio is
how old is
he? 37. They've been competing in the same weight class since 2016.
How old was Triple G when Canelo beat him?
That dude like fucking
37 or 36, right around there
for years. It's embarrassing.
It's almost the same.
And Mirage,
every time Lomachenko had a belt, Tank was always ranked #1 right behind him. Never made an attempt to fight him. Turned down every fucking contract. And all of a sudden, now at 37 years old, now you're finding your balls, dude? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I agree with Jimmy. I don't like it either. They should have had this fight at 130 years ago. They are both positioned to fight each other, and it never happened. You had fucking...
Like Loma said, Tank's the toughest fucking fighter on Twitter.
There you are.
And every reporter laughed because they all knew it was true.
Okay, how about this? If Tank is a fraud like some people claim he is, even a 70%, 80% version of Lomachenko should expose him.
He's going to get exposed regardless. You'll see it.
I pointed out that wouldn't even give him the time of day. Why give in to somebody who fucking wouldn't fight you when you wanted to, when you offered him all those champs to fucking fight for titles and shit? And you, no, nothing. There's no way average fighter, no matter what version of Lomachenko gets in the ring, would beat him convincingly if he's an average fighter.
Oh, I think you're insane. I think especially back when you're looking at the 126, 130-pound Lomachenko, he might have done some harm to his career.
When they were both at 130, fucking Lomachenko would have gave him a lesson because he's shorter than him.
It would have been some badass shit, especially with a little short little fucker that's kind of plotty that likes to lay back and fucking.
Guys, even if you look at Lomachenko against what's his name again?
They knew that.
Guys, even if you look at Lomachenko against Devin Haney, he wasn't an easy fight. I think Lomachenko won, but it wasn't an easy fight, right? So,
because look how big Devin is.
Well, yeah, exactly. I know.
I have another thing for you. How does Tank do against southpaws? He gets fucking destroyed. Not good. And how does Loma do against southpaws? He don't give a fuck.
Who's the last southpaw he fought? Who's the last southpaw he fought?
Isaac Cruz, wasn't it? Wasn't Isaac Cruz a southpaw? Gave him fits.
That was a weird fight.
Well, no, Frank Martin was.
What was weird about it? That somebody came to fight him? That guy was relatively that was nearly a cherry pick gone wrong.
By the way, Isaac Cruz. That would be a hard fight for Lomachenko too. By the way, Isaac Cruz stylistically.
I don't know. I think they the exact opposite stylistically because Loma wouldn't engage with him like that. Tank has to. He doesn't have the feet.
He's not going to fight on the back. Loma doesn't fight on the back.
Loma can't. Loma has the feet to get out of range. Tank is a plotter and he sits down for shots. That's why he knocks people out. He has to plant his feet. He's not a mover.
I mean, he was losing rounds to Rolly Romero. I mean,
I don't think you know what you're looking at.
No.
Tank did. Jimmy. So he displayed a good way to I was impressed how Tank cut off the ring on Frank Martin. I thought that was impressive.
You really thought that was impressive? You really thought that was an impressive show of how to cut the fucking ring off? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yes.
Really? That was horrific.
A lot of these fighters, they don't know how to.
Frank Martin was backing himself up corners, bro. It was not anything that impressive. The deal were back up to the corner.
That was terrible.
He was like, go from rope to corner to corner.
Into that corner. That's how you cut off the ring. You back
I will say this.
No, that's not how you cut off the ring. How you cut off the ring is you position people from the ropes to the corner, back on the ropes to the corner. Tank doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't keep the pressure on you at all.
That combination was impressive. That's the one thing I will give Davis. That combination that he knocked him out with. Basically, he did the same shit that I know he did. But again, it's against Frank Martin, who's like at that point he was submitting. That's the difference.
He was drained as shit.
Yeah, he was like kind of submitting at that point. He was done. He was basically done. And props to Tank. Tank said, "Okay, you done. I just need to take you out of your misery. That's all."
Hitting him with the same shit that he hits everybody with. Everything's tied up with his left fucking hand. When was the last time you've seen him do any kind of damage with his right fucking hand? I'm telling you, this guy, he is good in spurts, and what he is, he's a power puncher that knows how to counterpunch right. He's a counterpuncher that has power. That's a better way to say it. But outside that, he does not cut the ring off well. I have no idea where in the fuck you saw that from. That's craziness. It takes him way too long to be effective. He doesn't know how to do pressure. He doesn't get that whatsoever.
Hold up. There are very few complete fighters in boxing. Tank Davis is one of them. Like it or not.
No,
he's a complete fighter.
No, he's not complete. I just explained to you why. He doesn't cut the ring off like the way you thought. Just because he beat up some kind of like C-level bum in the ring that he probably should have been fighting. Nobody asked him to fight that idiot.
Hey, a complete fighter is not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. A complete fighter is not somebody that can do everything at A+ level. A complete fighter is somebody that can do everything, whether it's B level, C level, he can still do everything. Tank can do everything.
All right, but Tank is a C level when it comes to cutting the ring off. I'll give you that. He can do it, but he sucks at it. And then we saw that because if he was any good at it, that fight shouldn't have gone as long. Yeah, especially against a guy like that. That makes no sense.
Someone's well-rounded when they're doing low-level opposition. Any top fighter can beat a low-level opposition in their weakest suit, so it really doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want against the lowest level of opposition. It doesn't mean that.
I say Frank is a better fighter than Kambosos. I think Kambosos sucks, and that was one was last opponent. So.
I think Kambosos actually is like a C+ level fighter. He probably should have never held the title, but he's good enough to like gatekeep. For lack of a better term. This other guy I never heard of. I think Kambosos is a better quality fighter than the last guy we just saw.
No. Frank,
big time.
Kambosos lost to that British dude, Hughes, whatever his name is. Come on, man. I think
Frank Martin ever beaten a former champion? I don't think he's ever beaten anyone on that level.
He hasn't done shit. So that's the whole point. I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was until Tank fought him. So why would you compare somebody like that? That's an unfair comparison. You have another guy that's been in the trenches that has legitimate like names on his resume, and you go ahead and discount that immediately. That's crazy. That's unfair. That's shitty. That's shitty. Because you know what? Because like Frank Martin hasn't been in the ring with anybody like that, and you didn't get to see how he performed, but you automatically discount that.
Yeah, Lopez would beat the shit out of Frank Martin.
He's a 140 pounder.
No, we have to live in fantasy and shit. That's what we have to do right now. We have to live in fantasy. This is what I think, and guess what? It will come to fruition later. No, fuck that shit. We have to watch what we've seen in the past to dictate the future. And guess what? The one guys that you're talking about have no past. So we can't fucking figure out.
Not always, because that's that same logic with resume should matter over eye test. And I disagree with that shit.
It's not, well, it's both. If you want to think about it, you could have a guy that has a good resume, and then you could watch him fight. Why can't I do that? The problem is the guys you talk about don't have a fucking resume. And then when we watch them fight, nobody cares.
Definitely don't trust someone who's the same age as me about the eye test. I would trust someone who's much more well versed and has more years in boxing when it comes to the eye test. I'll just say that.
Somebody got Mr. PVC Prime.
Like if Jimmy said someone was talented and they had like 10 fights or something, I'll definitely take a look at him because he's been watching boxing longer than I've been alive. So that's a lot different.
Damn. You guys talking about boobs?
How old is Jimmy?
Jimmy's. I don't want to give
like 90. He's 90.
Jimmy's old.
I was born in 90,
man.
Yeah, Jimmy's old, man.
Yeah, I was born in 99, so but everyone in here is older than I am.
Yeah, Jimmy's old, man. Jimmy's the oldest guy here.
Jimmy's considered a big bro to me, so.
Exactly.
And I'm old as fuck.
Same thing for recognize.
You're old too. I was about to say it earlier. Recognize Fought Ortiz. So
I was saying,
why is Teofimo trying to force this Terrence Crawford fight, bro? Like that's a waste.
I don't think he's trying to make that fight happen. I don't think he's trying to make that fight happen. It's cloud chasing. That's all that is.
In the chat, Gordo says that Jimmy is Sam.
It could turn out like Burns and Duran. Could end up like that.
Stay away from that, man. You'll end your career.
He's not that good. He's not that good, bro. Listen, I like Tio. I think Tio, he makes up for what he doesn't have in talent and heart. But, you know, if he goes up and for Crawford and it'll be a schooling.
Are we doing this again? We're talking about that again, really.
You know what Tio is, bro? Tio is actually very similar to Devin. Let me explain. They're both limited fighters. Devin can't deal with people who know how to cut off the ring or power punchers. And
Devin doesn't know how to do anything.
And then Tio can't deal with boxers.
Devin has like long range capabilities. He has no mid range. He has nothing on the inside besides clinching you up. He really can't do it. Like he's actually one of the worst fighters I've seen in a long time with the profile he has. It's crazy. That's crazy shit.
Lopez versus Crawford is just as idiotic as people saying Crawford should go up to fight Canelo.
You know what I like about Lopez at least is that he has a little bit. He has a degree of flash to him.
He's excited.
He's crafty too. Like he understands boxing. He can see once he relaxes, you know, and he gets comfortable, you'll start like making shit look good. And like, so I don't mind him so much, but he is limited. He does not know how to cut off the ring. He's just like Tank, in my opinion, but they're different. Like Tank's like a sit back counterpuncher, where Tio's a sit back flashy counterpuncher. It's a little bit different.
Tank's front foot game is much better than Tio's. And he's better on defense.
Oh my God. Why would you say that? His front, who have you seen him like cut the ring off against? And look at how he cuts the ring off.
Even against mid-level guys, Tio can't cut off the ring, let alone high-level guys.
I'm not saying he can. I'm actually questioning why you think Tank can. He's fighting dudes that are C-level, and it takes him 8 rounds to box them up. That's not good. This is crazy. It's crazy.
He's fighting someone who's C-level, but Devin couldn't even.
Tio fought a C-level guy and couldn't cut off the ring.
I'm not saying he should, but I'm saying I'm trying to tell you right now is that they're both counter punchers and they both suck at being aggressive. They don't do that at all. Both of them. They don't like it. They don't like it.
I think.
Go ahead.
Tank is better at making adjustments than Tio, from what I see.
He might be. I'll give you that a little bit. But I think if you look at the variety of punches, Tio has much better variety of shots. He has power in both hands. All Tank's knockouts are wrapped up in his left hand. And in my opinion, if somebody was really watching that, that's something you take away from it. It's like, I'm going to make you throw across your body every fucking time. Fuck you. That's what you do with a guy like that. There's nothing to be scared in his right hook. He hasn't knocked anybody out with his right hand in it's been like 8 years. He knocked somebody out with a check hook. He doesn't do fucking shit with his right hand. That guy's almost like Wilder with better skill. He's easy to beat. You just need to fucking break him down.
Yeah, Tank is willing to drop rounds just to give you.
Is she really about to beat this girl? Oh.
Is there a fight card going on right now?
Go to
it.
Yeah, pro box.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys already talk about Estrada Rodriguez?
Not really. I mean, a little bit.
Hey, Dirk, I see you.
I think most of us have Bam Rodriguez winning the fight.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you guys, like, fight's happening tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I have Bam by decision.
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm picking. I think just the younger, stronger, faster guy. But I do think Estrada's going to put up a much better fight than what people are hoping for. I mean, people are looking forward to, because he has been off for a year. But I mean, I still think he's got some of that pound for pound talent left in him that he had in his prime. It's just he's just been off for so long.
I agree. I just think that the pace is going to be too much, and
it might be. It seems like it's a sleeper, because a lot of people, even though it's like a big fight, a lot of people just seem to already have in their head that guy Rodriguez is winning. I think it's going to be a real good fight.
I hope so.
We all hope so. Yeah.
Usually, like as you said, with that much time off and at the lighter weight, it's like you wonder what it took for him to get back down. Did he blow up? How much of a fat camp did he add? And if he was smart, he probably started dropping weight before this. But I don't know. We'll see. As you said, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it was dumb of him to sit out all of last year, especially when he had like a big fight against Ioka in Japan on the table. He should have took that. That would have been a real good one.
All right, guys. You know what? The show's slowing down. Let's call it a night here, and maybe tomorrow we'll have another live stream before the Teofimo Lopez fight. And before all of the fights. All right, so have a good night, guys. Thank you for being on the show. Everybody on YouTube, thank you for being on the show. A little bit too chaotic. We're going to fix that. But yeah, still, tomorrow we might have another live stream. And if we do, I'll see you there. All right, guys? Take care.
Warning.
I'm going to bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head.